Yes, good evening. I said I wouldn't stream. Here I am streaming another night of Champions League football, another night of an ACCA that probably won't come in. But you know what? We're here for it. We're having fun. And there's games already going on. And one of the games that are going on currently is in my ACCA. So just so everyone knows, my ACCA for the night, let me know if you've got one. My ACCA tonight is Shakhtar Donetsk, who are currently 2-1 up against Young Boys with 17 minutes to go. Blackburn at home to Stoke. Coventry at home to Derby. Luton at home to Cardiff, which is the iffy one. And Feyenoord at home to Salzburg. But in the Champions League tonight, we've got a lot of good games going on. Villa currently, excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry while I die. Club Brugge currently beating Aston Villa by 1-0. You've got Bayern Munich versus Benfica. Harry Kane's Bayern Munich versus Benfica. You've got Feyenoord versus Salzburg. Inter Milan are playing the enemy. Inter Milan at home to them lot down the road, Arsenal. No doubt some of these Arsenal fans will be in the chat if they're winning, and if they're losing, I expect we won't see them in any way, shape or form. You've got PSG v Atletico, which is two big clubs playing each other there. Red Star Belgrade playing Barcelona, who are now the third favourites, by the way, to win the Champions League. Barcelona have moved into third favourites. The favourites to win the Champions League, by the way, are Real Madrid, followed by Man City, followed by Barcelona. So that's how the bookies see it at the moment. Obviously, things change. Sparta Prague are playing Brest, and Brest have been very good in the Champions League so far. And then Stuttgart are playing Atalanta. In the Europa League, there was a game earlier. Besiktas beat Malmo 2-1. Besiktas 2-1 winners against Malmo. And in the Championship tonight, you've got Blackburn versus Stoke, Coventry v Derby, Millwall versus Leeds, which is always a feisty affair. I'm sure both sets of fans will be giving it as good as they get, should we say. Luton v Cardiff. And Luton, by the way, I looked today, Luton Town are in the relegation zone of the Championship after getting relegated last year. And only this idiot could put them in his ACCA. I looked at it today. They've not won. I think they've won one in what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They've won one of their last 7 league games, which is a home win against Watford. And today they're playing against Cardiff, who are 3 points above them. But Cardiff haven't lost in 6. Only I could put them in my ACCA. And then the last game is Preston versus Sunderland. Sunderland, of course, top of the Championship and could go 4 points clear by the end of the night. So loads of games, loads of results. I'm not sure if I'm going to watch a game tonight. I might just see the scores coming in. But that's where we're at. So big up to each and every one of you. Let's see who we've got in the chat. Big up to Tony Rodriguez, as always. I'm loving the new do, Tony. Is this a new shaved head look? Looks very sexy, my man. Big up to you. Big up to Anthony Clark, who said, big up, Savva. Come to glow in my misery tonight when Arsenal lose. Well, listen, I mean, it's going to be an interesting game, isn't it? Inter Milan at home versus Arsenal. Inter Milan are, listen, they're a top football team, but I don't know if they've quite been firing on all cylinders this season. Let's have a look, shall we? If we look at Inter Milan this season, listen, I'm not saying they're doing poorly by any stretch of the imagination. Inter Milan, let's have a look where they are in the league. So they're currently second. They're a point off the top. And when we look at Inter Milan, let's see what they've done with their results. Inter Milan results 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 1 defeat in 18 for Inter Milan. I take it all back. It could be a very long night for Arsenal. But let's get some news from that game. The two teams in that game are Jurgen Sommer in goal, Pavard, De Vrij, and Bissek in a back three. A midfield 5 of Dumfries, Fratesi, Çalhanoğlu, Zielinski, and Darmian. And then up front is Taremi, the old-timer Taremi. I say the old-timer, he's only 32. Taremi and Lautaro Martinez. And Arsenal have gone with Raya in goal, Ben White right back, Saliba and Gabriel at centre-half, Timber left back, Marino, Partey, and Havertz, with Martinelli, Trossard, and Saka, who I'm led to believe is captaining the team tonight. By the way, let me know if I'm too dark. I was having this conversation with my wife earlier about, is this too dark? She thinks it's about right. Let me know if you think this is too dark. And absolutely, Ellie, yeah, my best friend is definitely my dog who's asleep. Both my dogs asleep next to me, both my best friends. So they're the two lineups. If we look at the game, Aston Villa, 11 minutes left to pull a goal back. They were 3 wins from 3, so they're currently slipping up as things stand. Let's have a look, shall we? Before we say hello to a few people, let's have a look at the UEFA Champions League table. Go on, refresh, please, computer. If you refresh. No, I don't want to register to that. No, thank you. Here we go. So currently being played. Right, here we go. Here is the current Champions League table. Makes for interesting reading, doesn't it? Obviously, no Spurs in there, which is frustrating. But you can see there, Liverpool, the only club so far with 4. Well, they're the only club that can go 4 wins from 4. No one else can get to that. I think the interesting thing is Brest, who could go second tonight in the group. Brest could go second out of 36 Champions League teams. So Liverpool from Sporting Lisbon, from Monaco, from Borussia Dortmund, Aston Villa, Man City, Brest, Inter Milan. They're the top 8. Then if we look at the next junction, you've got Arsenal, Juve, Leverkusen, Lille, Celtic. Listen, Barcelona, they'll feel like they need a win that will put them into the top 8 as well. They've won 2 but lost 1 of their games. Real Madrid down here, as you can see, Real Madrid down here. It's interesting because it's only, I mean, look, it's 17th on paper, but 1 point off of the top 8. So there's a lot going on tonight, a lot of games. You would think that Liverpool are going to be home and dry. I mean, 4 wins from the first 4. It would take a monumental collapse for Liverpool not to go through. My skin tone is A1. I mean, yeah, let's go for it. My skin tone, and Ellie, you'll appreciate this, being a Greek, a fellow Greek. This is pale. I am Greek, and look, this is horrible. So it's a good job I'm going to the Dominican Republic in 37 days. Come on! Not that I'm counting down, but 37 days. Let's have a look and see who else is in the chat, shall we? Big up Nige from Pure Coys. He's on a date tonight. Good luck, Nige. Remember, brush your teeth. Take a condom. Brush your teeth. Do what you got to do, mate. Big up to you. Hope it goes well. Vinny Rowley's in the chat. Big up, Vinny. Hope you are well, my man. Big up to Costa del Spurs. Big up to Philly, the brother from another mother. How you doing, man? Hope you're well. Finn Rickwood's in the chat. Big up to you, Finn. Big up to Mark Taylor. Good evening to you. Phil Coys is here. Yes, he is. Big up to Yusuf. I haven't seen what happened in the Villa game, so I'm guessing Villa did something really, really silly, did they? I'm just keeping an eye because I've got Shakhtar Donetsk. The other 4 teams, it doesn't matter if Shakhtar don't win. When I put the bet on, I didn't realise that Shakhtar was starting at 5:45. So I kind of need them to hold on the young boys so that the bet stays in play. Big up to Tom81. How you doing? Lord Rodney Trotter is in the chat as well. Jackal70 is in the chat. Clear it. Good. Oh, off the line from Shakhtar. Alfie Hall, I said, hello, Savva. Thought you weren't going to stream. I know. Can't deny I very much enjoy these shows, mainly because I don't have to watch Tottenham. I find them relaxing because we don't have to watch Tottenham. And the goals that go in, unless I've got them in the knacker, I don't really care who scores and who doesn't, right? Good evening to Chloe. How you doing, Chloe? Yes, it should. Millwall versus Leeds is going to be a cracker. Millwall have done really well, by the way. I'm not sure if anyone cares, but Millwall are the second closest club to me at the moment, third closest club to me, but they're just down the road. Millwall are doing really, really well. They are, with a game in hand, they are 2 points off of the top 6. So they're 2 points off the playoff. Oh, no. Oh, good. He's cleared it. And Millwall, a mate of mine said that Tanganga's been playing very well for them. Maybe he's found his level. Queen Ellie, she's here. She's looking forward to it for Inter to inflict some pain on Arsenal. I mean, look, we saw Man City struggling last night. Are we going to see Arsenal struggle as well? Mark said, "I see your man." Oh, listen, I think Gyökeres is quality. I couldn't believe there were Spurs fans in the summer saying they'd rather Solanke than Gyökeres. But hey, it is what it is. It's all done now. Belgrade Wanderer said, "Inter with 4 players out, Arsenal should win this." It's still a strong enough team, right? It's still a strong enough team from Inter Milan. They've got a really good squad. Inter Milan rotated massively for the weekend. They play Napoli this weekend. Big game. I fully expect them to beat Napoli, if I'm honest. And it is my dog in the logo. Yes, it is my dog in the logo. It is my French bulldog, Frank. He didn't realise that he was modelling when that's his paws in that photo are actually on my knees. That was him jumping up at my knees a few years ago. And I took the photo and thought, you know what, we could do something with this. So there we go. And, that was the inspiration. And thank you to Henry Wright, because Henry Wright named my channel. When I was talking with Henry, going, what do I call the channel? I don't want my name in it. And he was like, what about Football Heritage? I was like, got it. So well done for Henry for that, and hope he is well. I know he's well. I spoke to him today, actually. Big up. Thank you. Perfect lighting. Come on. Yes. No. Oh, off the line. They nearly got a third. The darker, the better, says Luddy. Evening to Warren. Big up, Warren. You'll have your email in a couple of days with your free tickets for Sunday. Someone just said, Boyce just said Celtic. Good win for Celtic yesterday. Really good win for Celtic yesterday that puts them 13th, and it puts them level on points with Man City. So it's going to be interesting. Hang on, let me break away for 1 second. Young boys are on the attack. 6 minutes to go. Young boys. Oh, he's twisted. He's turned. Great defending. Great defending in the end. Big up to Mark Taylor. Said, Savva, what do you think of Jonathan Davis? Do you mean Jonathan David? I don't mind him. I mean, again, I don't know if he's the man that's going to take people, take us above and beyond. But I don't mind Jonathan David. He's a decent player. By the way, Aston Villa still 1-0 down to Club Bruges. Amari, big up to Amari. Big up to Ellie again. MC Kelsey, big up MC Kelsey. How you doing? The West Ham fan inside the place. Andy Eng 135, big up to you. By the way, guys and girls, a French bulldog, so it's a coward. Don't know what that means, but okay. Mings picked the ball up after Martinez took the goal kick. I see. Listen, Hines said, I thoroughly enjoyed last night's Sporting City game. City could use a couple of good spankings. Yeah, listen, I think it's nice for them to feel how the rest of us have felt over the years, right? But I never write off Man City. Every year they're written off. I'm not saying you have, but every year they come good. Yeah, lots of the Millwall lot apparently are all saying how good Tanganga is, but you would expect that, right? Coming through the Spurs Academy, playing games in Europe for Spurs in the Premier League, you would expect that Tanganga goes to Millwall and is their best player, right? If not, then there's something very wrong. Yes, Ryan, the ACCA tonight, as I said, the ACCA is Shakhtar, who are playing right now, Blackburn to beat Stoke, Coventry to beat Derby, Luton to beat Cardiff, which I'm worried about, and final to beat Salzburg. It wins a cool 1.1k. So we'll see. Brian Daigle from Daigleland said, good evening, everyone in the chat. And my brother, Savalicious. Hope you're all well. I'm well. I hope everybody in the chat is well. Big up to you. A nice chilled stream tonight. Proximo. Oh God, not this guy again. I'm pretty sure this guy was in my chat the other day having a pop. Savva, if we make top 4 and lose the Europa League final, would you consider that a good season? Of course. Yeah, if you make a European final and finish in the Champions League places, yes, it's a very good season. Yeah, of course. It didn't really need to be asked that question. Big up to Yusuf in the chat. He says, how seriously are the big clubs taking this new format? Apart from Liverpool, the other clubs seem to be complacent. I think it's difficult to say, isn't it, Yusuf? Because what we can't just say is that when big teams lose, they're complacent. Big teams lose games as well, right? Big teams' lives matter as well. But go on. Shakhtar, ball across the box. Oh, sorry, 87.5 minutes. I really need Shakhtar to win so the other 4 stay in play. If Shakhtar concede a goal here, I'm in all sorts of trouble. Where are we? The Spurs King. I said, why aren't Arsenal a choice in the poll? They are scary. So basically, you'll see I've done a poll tonight. The 3 teams I put in the poll for who's going to win the Champions League, that was when at the time of me doing that poll this afternoon, they were the bookies' 3 favourites. The same way tomorrow night, the poll that I've done is who are the favourites? Tottenham, Bilbao, Man U, or someone else? And again, it's because Tottenham, Bilbao, and Man United are the bookies' 3 favourites for the trophy, followed closely by Lazio, followed by Roma. Liston, big up Liston. I said, Garcrez surely didn't decrease his value in yesterday's game. I used to say a couple of years ago we should take a cheap gamble on that Coventry striker. Then he went Sporting. Well, listen, somebody said this in a show last night, so I'm stealing this off them. I would not bet against Liston. Let me know what you think, mate. I would not bet against Man United going and buying him in the summer with Ruben Amorim. I would not bet against it, and I think that would be a game changer for Man United to have a striker of that ilk up front. I truly think that Ruben Amorim will probably go and grab a couple of his players. Sorry, I'm just young boys. Oh, they're in. Oh, it's out for a corner. Oh, you know when you've got a bet on it and a team is just holding on by the skin of their teeth. But yeah, listen, I think that I think Gyökeres would have Man U written all over it. I think he's a great signing for somebody. And Man United have got the money, and they're now going to have the manager that bought him and has helped him in his journey. Hang on, who's this? Hang on, who's this? Sorry, just checking. George. Shakhtar, by the way, 30 seconds of normal time left for anybody that cares. Aston Villa are still 1-0 down. They're in the 91st minute of their game. So Aston Villa have got 4.5 minutes injury time to salvage that game. Shakhtar, young boys, is only a goal in it as well with 10 seconds of normal time. It's a corner kick, by the way, to young boys who have had a couple of really big injuries in this game as well. But they've lost both their centre halves. There's a corner whipped in, cleared by Shakhtar Donetsk. Hang on. I know you guys don't care, but I really need this score to stay the way it is. And the keeper's come out and claimed it. Go on, the keeper. Go on, the keeper. Where else are we? Anthony has said, what's your opinion on Diamonde and Gyökeres following the Sporting manager? Yeah, look, I think this is the problem with a club like Sporting, right? They're good. Listen, Sporting, Porto, Benfica, these clubs are excellent at bringing through players. The way these guys churn out top footballers is crazy. When you look at some of the clubs in the Premier League that don't, these guys really, really do. So yeah, the chances are that these players will move for money, right? They will move. So yeah, look, Anthony, if you were Ruben Amorim, surely you would immediately be going, right, who am I going to go back and get in the summer, right? Inakoma says no more or Timo for tomorrow night and Son the only left winger. Is that true? Is that true? Big crazy if that's true. Queen Elliot said, you know what, Savva, if Trump can get re-elected, surely we can. Oh, Trump. Woke up this morning, yeah, to the whole, it's just lots of memes, isn't it, today? I've never seen a man so orange. I've never seen a man so orange in my life as Donald Trump. Ryan G has said, listen, we could have signed him for 15 million while he was at Coventry. Oh, what a signing that would have been. Angus, tell us something we don't know. Yeah, we all know that you're not winning the Champions League. We all know you're not winning it. Our 16-year duck and win a trophy. Oh, God, Ellie, surely. At some point, we've got to win a trophy. Listen, I'm all for it. If Ange wins a trophy, he's our most successful manager in 17 years. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I think we all are, right? Thank the Lord that Martin Odegaard is back. I saw on Sky Sports today, by the way, people, the difference in Man United's win rate. Sorry, Man United. Arsenal's win rate with Odegaard versus without. And it was like 65% with and 40% without. That's a huge statistic to show just how important a player is to a team. One player. Another bad evening for Villa. Yeah, Aston Villa are they've got 1 minute. They've got 1 minute left. Listen, they're still sitting in a very nice position, but so far not been a good week in Europe for English teams, has it? So far, other than Liverpool. At the moment, it's not been going great. Tottenham are not top three favourites, by the way. Tottenham are the bookies' favourites for the Europa League. I can't believe it, but we are the bookies' favourites for the Champions League. As Shakhtar across the ball, it's clear. Oh, come on. Shakhtar, I've got 1 minute left. Come on, Shakhtar, just in the corner. Come on. Oh, that's nice. Who was that? If I was a scout, I'd be looking at that player immediately. As soon as I said that, the bloke did a wonderful bit of skill, and then the easy pass he fluffed. Always the way, isn't it? Always the way. Look, guys, girls, let me know. What are your score predictions? Let's start with Inter Milan versus Arsenal. Inter Milan at home to Arsenal. What is your score prediction? Now, bearing in mind that for all of people saying Arsenal aren't great, Arsenal, if they win tonight, could go second. If Arsenal win tonight, they could go second in the Champions League group and have 10 points from 12. So again, it's what a difference a week can make in football. We saw it with Spurs. Terrible defeat to Palace, followed by absolutely brilliant back-to-back wins of Man City and Aston Villa. Could Arsenal do something similar today? We'll see. Marcus Edwards. Yeah, I forgot he was there. The problem is that Man U would have to sell one of 7. I don't see why would they have to sell? Why would they have to sell? I don't think they would they? Egan has said, apart from Real Madrid and Barcelona, Liverpool have the most Champions League pedigree, and they aren't on the poll. How is that? I explained how that is so. I went with the bookies' favourites. Okay, otherwise I could have just plucked 3 teams out the air and people would have complained. It's the bookies' favourites, which is who I've put in there. I don't see why. I always hear this. I always hear that clubs like Man U need to do this, and they always manage to buy these players. Look who it is. 2 nights in a row. 3 streams in a row. Hello.
Yeah. Hello. I've got nothing else to do, and I can't watch any of the games because they're all on TNT, and I don't have that subscription on Discovery. So I thought I'd annoy you for 35 minutes, half an hour.
I mean, I've never felt so special. I had nothing else to do, so I thought I'd join. Fair enough. I think that's why my wife married me. I don't think she had anything else to do. So, by the way, Shakhtar Donetsk, the first of 5 teams in my ACCA. Get in. Yeah. Come on, Shakhtar Donetsk. We were just getting score predictions, Ben, and we were going to start with Inter Milan. I know you're a big Italian football fan. Inter Milan at home to Arsenal. What are you saying?
I think it's going to be a close game, but I really want to annoy my buddy Angus because I love Angus. So 4-0 Inter.
4-0 Inter.
It won't be. It'll be 3-1. I'm going to go 2-1 Inter, but 4-0 to annoy Angus.
Look, I'm going to speak to Angus in 1 second. By the way, Angus, we're not one of the favourites, and I don't make this up. The bookies have Spurs as favourites for the Europa League. Whether you believe it or I believe it, the bookies have got us favourites. I don't think we are, but listen, Spurs don't normally do well with pressure, so let's see if we can cope. Angus, I want you to give us, so we can all see it, your prediction for tonight, so that when that score doesn't happen and you can turn around and pretend you predicted something else. 2-0 to Inter, says Yusuf. 2-1 to Inter, Raiden. 2-0. There we go. Our mate Angus Ben has gone with a 2-1 away win.
You've got to love the chest, though, don't you? This is what a football fan should be. It's got the chest out.
Yeah.
He's got the chest out. He hates his manager, but he still thinks he's going to go to one of the most difficult grounds in Europe with an amazing atmosphere and get a win. I love it. Mate, I love the chest.
Mate, listen, do you know what, though? Some of the results over this season have been, some of the bigger teams they're not flying away with it. But do you know what? I was having this conversation with my uncle today, and the bigger teams, as long as they qualify, they'll be fine. Because the bigger teams know that it's not what you do now.
Yeah.
It's what you do
I think that's what a lot of the team's mentality is. I think they're getting their tactics right, and then they push on. They use this. They're basically trying to do what Man City do, which is go easy in the first few months because it's a long season, it's a marathon, not a sprint. But the last 3-4 months of the season, bang, 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 bang. We say this about Man City all the time. People are saying Pep in the mud, Man City in the mud. We know in February they're going to go, right, boys, let's win the league. And then they just go 20 games unbeaten.
Do you know what? Do you know the funny thing is? When I finished watching when I finished this show last night, I turned on TNT. I wanted to see what Pep said. I wanted to see what Bernardo Silva and all them lot said. And then on the pitch they had was it Liam or Noel Gallagher? Which is the one that's always in the limelight? Is it Liam? No. They had Noel there, and they said to him, you know, like, what did you think? And Noel Gallagher turned around and said, he went, Pep likes a problem. He likes solving problems. He's got one. he said he's got one.
He loves solving problems.
Yeah, he does. He does. Problems
because one of the things that I love about Pep Guardiola's football teams is they're never the same. He has a blueprint of how they play football. Yeah. But like the season they won the Champions League, you had Stones in midfield, you had this person here, he changes his team every year. And that's because it's not really working. His players aren't really fit and firing. So he puts John Stones in midfield and say, you're a good footballer, John Stones. You play midfield. And it works.
I spoke to talking about that, Ben. I spoke to my mate today, and my mate works at Man United. He said he was speaking. This is all going to be hearsay nonsense. He said he was speaking to his mate who works at Man City. And apparently what Pep has wanted to do this season is, with Rodri being out, he wants to play Stones in that role, but Stones hasn't been fit enough for a long period of time to be able to do it.
Stones is a very good footballer, but he's not. He's someone that he's give and go. He's like Declan Rice at Arsenal. He gives and goes, but he's not Rodri. Rodri, you know, one of the things I always say about Rodri, he's like the sun in the middle of the solar system.
Amen.
He controls everything. It's like Messi at the World Cup when Argentina won the World Cup. Messi didn't even need to touch the ball for 25 minutes of the game. He's always moving. He's control. It's like he's the last airbender in Avatar. He's controlling everything just by where he stands. That's what Rodri does. He stands there and he controls a game of football by looking what's happening around him. Michael Carrick used to do it as well. Michael Carrick, when he was at Spurs, when the other team has the ball, what he'd do is he'd stand in the space he knows that the other team are going to pass the ball into, and he intercepts the ball.
Do you know what? Paul Scholes is the one that said it. He said, if you actually look, he said, forget me. He said, I was getting old. He said, if you actually look at when Man United's dominance kind of ended, he said it was as Carrick came out that midfield. They've never, you know, Michael Carrick played a decade for Man United.
Yeah.
He played a decade for Man United in that midfield. Oh, your phone's doing that thing again. Is it your phone or your thing's doing that thing again? But Michael Carrick played for like a decade in midfield. For me, the most underrated midfielder, or the most underrated player of the Premier League era. I think Michael Carrick is superb. Never ever got the plaudits. Your thing is still doing that thing. I don't know what it is. But it's doing it. That stopped it, whatever you just did. Rick Kettinger said, my Inter fan said Inter will save their squad for Napoli. Well, look, yeah, listen, Inter have got some players on the bench, but Inter Milan have got some depth. Let's not mess about, right? Inter Milan have got some depth. And if they need to bring it off the bench, they can. But let's go back to that. Players like Michael Carrick, there's not many of them about now.
No, there's none of them.
Other than Rodri.
Yeah.
Other than Rodri, like, you know, we think people talk now about, Declan Rice, a top player, and he is.
Yeah.
But listen, Michael Carrick will piss all over it. Like, do you know what I mean?
I mean, it's difficult for me to say about Michael Carrick at Spurs because it's 2000. Carrick joined in 2002, 2003, from what I remember. He was, or was it maybe 2004? I mean, I want to
say 4. Do you know what? Do you know who'll know? The wonderful world of Wikipedia. Go on, carry on. I'll find out for us.
I was too young to really appreciate Michael Carrick because I was a kid. So what did I like? Jermaine Defoe, Robbie Keane, Aaron Lennon. Like, people were just like, you know what? They love watching them. But Carrick was the guy that was just there. He was the brain. He was a brain. Every football team needs a brain, and he was the brain.
Well, listen to this. Michael Carrick joined Tottenham in 2004.
Yeah.
And he left us in 2006. So he had 75 games across all competitions for Spurs, right? He then had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 seasons at Man United, right? Where he played 464 games, right? In that time, this is what Michael Carrick won, playing centre mid for Man United. He won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Premier Leagues, 1 FA Cup, 3 League Cups, 6 Charity Shields, 1 Champions League, 1 Europa League, 1 World Club Cup, 1 PFA Team of the Year, 1 Man United Player of the Year, and the guy only got 34 England caps. That is criminal.
It's embarrassing.
Criminal. Any other country, that man's got 100, 120 caps.
He's not the centre of the team as well. He's the centre of the team. He's probably the captain of the team.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But do you know what, Yusuf? You're absolutely right. He was unlucky, but he was also that managers didn't realise, you know what? Why not put Carrick in the holding role and Gerrard and Lampard and Scott? Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, for me, I just think you needed a manager that would say, right, sorry, I can't play all of you. It's almost like now you've got Bellingham, you've got Foden, you've got Saka, you've got Grealish, you've got Palmer. You know, you need a manager that says, hang on, I need to do what's best for the team rather than just shoehorning in the names. Proximo said Mousa Dembele was more underrated than Carrick.
No. I love Mousa Dembele, but no, Carrick won. Carrick is not rated at all. How many people come out and say, look how good Michael Carrick was the best player in that Man United team, and he won all those trophies. Dembele. I don't want to, what's it called, piss on the parade of Pochettino's Tottenham team. He won nothing, and then he went to China.
And I think the thing is, you're right. I think the key thing is as well is, listen, I'm not knocking Mousa Dembele. I thought he was him.
I was there when Juventus away. I sat with the Juventus fans. I was given some tickets to watch Juventus away, and it was one of those posh seats. I felt like a celebrity. I had frontline tickets, and I had a screen in front of the team on the chair in front of me. It was a really posh seat. I need to find that picture. And you saw how good that when leaving the stadium, every single Juventus fan were like, Mousa Dembele should be playing for Juventus. That's how good Mousa Dembele was.
Do you know the difference for me? The difference for me is, and again, I think they're very different footballers,
very different footballers.
But the difference for me is that Michael Carrick did it and people have to remember, at the time, it's not the Man U we know now. No. At the time, it was the Man United. I just read out everything they won. He was the main man in a Man United team that were winning everything. And that's the difference that for me is that Dembele never, for whatever reason, hit those heights. You know, Ellie said, I know Savva Hoddle. Yeah, Hoddle only had 53 caps. Look, Carrick, again, very different player to Hoddle, but Hoddle's one of the greatest footballers I've ever seen. So, yes. But I think the difference for me is, Ellie, is Hoddle played for England in an era where managers only knew how to play 4-4-2, right? And Carrick played in an era where we'd come away from 4-4-2s, but we didn't have any managers that said, you know what, let's shoehorn him in. But listen, Hoddle only getting 53 caps, criminal. Absolutely criminal. I'll keep you up to date, by the way, guys, with every goal that goes in. There's loads of games, Ben. Loads in the Champions League. There's loads in the Championship as well. We've had games in the Europa League today as well. I'll just see if that's affected the Europa League table at all. Here we go. Oh God, I've got so many. You know when you've got so many tabs open, you don't know which one is which. So at the moment, tomorrow's game, Lazio are top, Tottenham are second, Anderlecht are third, Ajax fourth, and Galatasaray fifth. So if Galatasaray win tomorrow night, they go above Spurs. But we should still be in the top 8 tomorrow.
Yeah, we
will.
will.
Lose or draw.
It's a difficult game, Galatasaray away, but I think we got the quality to get through that game. And also, Timo Werner's not playing, so gives us a good chance.
By the way, Lord Rodney Trotter, yes, I very much know that Rooney and Van Nistelrooy were in that team, and Van Persie.
Van Persie, not Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah, Van Persie. The difference is, Lord Rodney Trotter, if you don't control and dictate midfields, it don't matter who you got up front.
Yeah.
Look at Spurs. We've had Son and Kane up front for nearly a decade. Yeah, but we haven't got no Michael Carrick and Paul Scholes in midfield.
From what I remember, Carrick, after Van Persie went to Fenerbahce afterwards, didn't he? He left Man United and went to Fenerbahce. Carrick was still in that team for 2 more years, I believe, from what I remember. He was still in that team. Rooney had gone because he got overweight and he lost his legs because he'd been starting from when he was 70. Carrick was still the guy in that team winning trophies after they left. Rooney went to Everton before he went to America for DC United, and then he came back again. Carrick was still in that team.
Do you know what? In those 12 seasons, there was only one season he didn't play over 40 games. Like, that's consistency. Oh, look at me talking about the word consistency. That's the consistency. Listen, I remember when we signed him from, when we got Defoe, it was like, oh, I like that. You know, those were the signings at the time where I went, I like this.
I don't need to talk about how much I love Jermaine Defoe. I think he's just a wonderful bloke. But I loved him as a footballer. I loved him as the world needs more Jermaine Defoe. It's just a striker that's just so gung-ho. That's a player I like. He could be 40 yards out or he could be 2 yards out. The only thing Jermaine Defoe is thinking about when he's got the ball is, can I put it in the back of the net? Like 40 yards out, he whacked shot.
Bangers. I remember us going away to Wolves. I think I want to say it was like 3-0 or 4-2, or I don't know. It was just loads of goals. And I remember Defoe getting the ball about 35 yards out, and you're thinking, don't shoot from there. Oh, back of the net. And if anyone hasn't seen it, I'm sure we all have. But in the 9-1 win, your computer's doing that thing again. In the 9-1 win versus Wigan,
it will stop.
That is an absolute masterclass in how to finish. All of his goals, low, hard, across the keeper, not even looking. It was a masterclass in finishing from Jermaine Defoe that day. 5 goals in one game. That's a genius.
Luckily for you, Savva, I'm getting a new microphone in 3 days.
Luckily for me, good. Luckily for me.
The problem is red, but it was cheap.
Lord Rodney Trotter, listen, I know I'm not doubting that Man U didn't have a brilliant squad. All I'm saying is Michael Carrick was there for all of those 10 to 12 years. Some of these players were kind of there, then they weren't. Giggs was there for all of that time, but Giggs was getting older. Michael Carrick was in there conducting the midfield. And when I heard Paul Scholes say, listen, that guy did everything. He let me run. And he sat in front of that back four and he just conducted the orchestra. Top player. And if he played now, he'd be at City. Do you know what I mean? He'd be at Liverpool. He'd be at the biggest.
He would be the middle of Pep Guardiola's midfield at Barcelona if he didn't have a Busquets.
We love Angus, don't we, Ben? We love Van Persie is a snake.
You got 24 million for him, Angus. That was good money in those days. And he had. He's got money.
I'll tell you what. Tottenham Tom. So did use like Robbie Keane. He never gets talked about. Well, he does. And I loved him. Yeah. Robbie Keane was a very unique footballer because he wasn't an out-and-out striker. he just
wasn't a
kind
number
of
10. He wasn't a midfielder. He was a jack of all trades.
yeah. He'd float wide. He'd go up top. He'd drop into the hole. A very intelligent, skillful footballer, Robbie Keane.
And most importantly, Savva, he was a fighter. Anyone that knocks out Edgar Davids in a training session, you know you're hard. You're hard with no H. You're hard. Edgar Davids, he was hard. Edgar Davids, but Robbie Keane knocked him out.
He was really hard. Luddy, I find it difficult with this one because they were very different footballers. As Ben said, Jermaine Defoe he lived and breathed goals. Yeah. He smelt the goal with his back to it. Robbie Keane was more of he was a very clever link-up type of player. I'm just glad we had the pleasure of watching both of them score lots and lots of goals for Tottenham Hotspur. Then we went and got Berbatov. Yeah. We had the pleasure of watching that man. So we've had some good players.
Yeah, we've had all our good strike. We always have a good striker. We always have a good striker.
Always. By the way, we are 1 minute away, and my Aka already looks shit. Coventry 0, Derby County 1. There's always one, isn't there? Still, it's only the 11th minute of the game, so there's a long way to go. But Derby County have got the first goal, I think, from all the Championship games tonight. And all the Champions League games are kicking off in the next 60 seconds or so. Great Redknapp match, that one. Awesome football. Listen, as I said, he's my personal favourite from the Premier League era. Has been... Listen, I know people love Poch.
One of the things we disagree on quite a lot, footballing-wise, how we like the games to be played. But there's the one thing we've always agreed on is Harry Redknapp is both our favourite style of football. That was 4-4-2, the number 10 dropping into midfield. That was a great football. That's a great style of football. That style of football absolutely rinses the style of football we play now. I love watching that. Bale down the left, Lennon down the right, Palacios and Sandro sitting in deep, Robbie Keane dropping into midfield when we didn't have the ball, King and Dawson at the back. That is just a great football team to watch.
Just
wonderful.
Quickly, Lord Rodney Trotter, this isn't true. I've got his Wikipedia page in front of me, and in terms of league games, 33, 34, 28, 30, 28, 31, 36, 34, 27, 28. He didn't average 20 league games in any way, shape or form, my friend. He really didn't. That's just simply not true. I loved the Harry Redknapp era. It was free-flowing football. There were no square pegs in round holes. Everyone kind of played where they were meant to play. And when we had Bale on the left, Van der Vaart in the middle, and Lennon on the right.
Yeah. And then when Modric dropped into midfield as well to play with Huddleston in some games. Huddleston's a very underrated footballer for Tottenham.
Do you know what?
Best passer of the ball since Glenn Hoddle at Tottenham.
I'll tell you what a wonderful technician of the football Tommy Huddleston was. If that man had an engine, he'd have been one of the best players the Premier League's ever seen. His passing was just out of this world, but he couldn't run. He couldn't run, and that was his downfall.
He should have been a centre-back, really.
Yeah, when he was younger, he played there.
I don't know if he's still playing for Man United's academy team. I believe he was a coach in the academy, but I think he probably is retired now. But he was still you'd see him. He was much older than the academy. Still, his passing was ridiculous. Yeah, that lovely, him and Modric together. You couldn't have two better passers of the ball. It's just a shame we didn't really play that style of football.
Oh, they were brilliant.
The ball about, hit the ball wide. It was great to watch.
Yeah,
it was great football.
Spurs on the rocks. Look, for me, maybe he didn't get 20 goals a season, but you got to remember these were the years when teams had two strikers, so it wasn't as important. But for me,
we had about 4.
Yeah, exactly. The goals were shed around, but for me, I don't care if he got 20 or not. He was a goal scoring machine. I loved him. I was such a huge fan of Jermaine Defoe. And for Tottenham, I just thought he did brilliantly. He had some great seasons in a Spurs shirt. His best ever was 24 in 43. But I loved him. I thought he was a brilliant striker. Sort of strikers you don't really see anymore.
The breed is not dying; it's dead.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. But again, in this day and age, would you want? Teams wouldn't have Jermaine Defoe in a one-up top situation because he's not the hold-up guy. He's not. You know what I mean? He needs to play with someone. So for his era, he was brilliant.
I think he would work in it's weird to say because you don't know if he was a good enough footballer, but I think he could play in a system that Arsenal and Man City are playing with, which is more of a false 9 situation, as someone that moves about it.
He had good feet,
but he had the pace, he had the muscle, he had the explosiveness. When you needed to put a ball, he was able to find that little 2 yards of space that was able to make him left foot, right foot, just slam it. And I think it could work in those sorts of teams, but you just don't know if he was a good enough footballer to be able to play in those false 9. I think he could do it.
Different era, right? I think this is the thing. This is why when people try and compare players from an era where it was predominantly 4-4-2 versus an era now where you've got wide forwards and it's like when people always when they start trying to compare like Ginola and Son, and it's like, well, Son's a forward whose game was to score goals. Ginola was a wide left winger whose job was to create, beat a man, whip balls in. It's very difficult to.
You can't compare them.
It's very difficult.
The only players you can really compare are defenders. Because defending, although defenders have got more technical in recent years, but you can say Paolo Maldini, best centre-back.
Oh.
You probably say Paolo Maldini. Defending is not... It's not changed a lot. It's changed a bit with how technical footballers are getting now, and you want playing out for the back. Maldini can play Maldini, if he was playing today, would be the best defender in the world, and no one would touch him.
Maldini, just 1 second. Red Star Belgrade have scored against Barcelona. I think it's gone to VAR, though. He's offside. Take that back. Hang on. I've got one for that. Ready? VAR. They're checking it. VAR are checking the goal. No goal. VAR are checking it. Checking the goal.
Yeah, I like it.
Sorry, who was you talking about before that?
Defending. Defenders you can compare because defending, although they're more technical, he's a good defender. Maldini can play in any team on the planet now. Maldini can play on any team on the planet. Jaap Stam could play in any team. Puyol, Pique, even someone like a Pepe. Pepe could play in any team now. If you had a choice between Pepe and Romero, who are you picking? I'm picking Pepe. Pepe, players like that. Defending doesn't really change. They're more technical, but they're still good defenders.
Yeah, I think defenders then were better. Like nowadays, we always look at defenders and go, how comfortable are they at bringing out the ball? That's great. I like that. But before I worry about how comfortable you are and how many 70-yard Hollywood passes you play, can you mark your centre forward? Can you stop the ball going in the... Do you know what I mean? Like the basics before the nice to haves. So as somebody who works in that industry, in the talent and recruitment industry, if I say to a client, what must they have? What's a nice to have, right? They must have centre backs, be able to defend. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like when people, if we use Romero for an example, people are like, but he's bringing the ball out the back is superb and his passing. Great.
Cratch is right, but you know what I'm talking about. Defenders could defend. Pique was a good defender. Of course, he's not in those bracket. Like Puyol was a genius at defending. He was a genius.
I'll tell you what, for as much stick as Gerard Pique gets, Gerard Pique was part of the best club side, arguably one of the two best club sides the world has
signed him back if he wasn't a good defender. No,
but he was part of the best club side the world's ever seen, Ben, and possibly arguably the best national side that won 3 tournaments in a row. Pique was a very good defender. I think people don't give him enough credit. Pique was a world-class centre-back. Puyol was superb as well. Together, it was the perfect partnership. It was absolutely superb. But listen, I'm not putting anyone in Maldini's bracket, by the way.
No one's in Maldini, except for maybe Beckenbauer. Baresi, Beckenbauer.
Yeah. Lord Rodney Trotter. All right, mate. Listen, I mean, Jesus Christ, mate. I think you've gone way too deep on this Michael Carrick stats. And God, anyone would think I was talking about Harry Winks the way he's going. Right, yeah. Mate. Look at this. Look. I'm like, oh, come on, what are we doing? He played 12 seasons for Man United, over 40 games every season, all competitions, and won everything. I don't think that's too bad, do you? Yeah. I really don't. Jesus Christ, what are we doing? Oh, God, wow. Look, I mean, talk about discredit a superb midfielder. Wow. Anyway.
It proves the argument, doesn't it, though, that Carrick is one of the most underrated midfielders to ever...
It absolutely does. Yeah, again, I mean, this couldn't be... was a system player that he shared with Fletcher. I mean, mate, I think you've got this all wrong. I'm sorry. When you say he was a system player,
I didn't really have system players in that era.
No, it was a 4-4-2. It was a 4-4-2. Yeah. What are we? Why? Let me ask this question, Lord Rodney Trotter. Why are you trying so hard to discredit a player that? Let's be fair. Since Michael Carrick's left Man United,
they've been a mess.
They've been a mess in midfield. Why are you trying so hard to discredit Michael Carrick? What's going on here? Yeah, we definitely missed Carrick. Carrick was a top midfielder.
I think Michael Carrick stole Lord Rodney Trotter's Crunchy Nut cornflakes. And you know what? If he stole my Crunchy Nut cornflakes, I'd be mad as well, because I do love Crunchy Nut cornflakes.
I just don't get it. Like, oh, you don't have to say he's the best player ever, but God, like the way he's going out of his every comment for the last 10 minutes has been about Michael Carrick. Listen, all I know is if Michael Carrick played for Spurs now, he'd be one of the best players in the Premier League.
He'd be the best player in our team. He'd be the best player in our team.
By a mile, he'd be the best player in our team. He was superb. He was a class midfielder. Some people have they've just got that vision, that passing, that where to be. Dude, Laura, every comment is, this was a sub appearance. That was 28 games. That was 20. Jeez, man. Listen, this guy played centre mid for the best club in the world for 12 years, right? If you're not that good, Alex Ferguson doesn't keep you for 12 seasons. There's your answer. All the players you're mentioning, the Ji-Sung Parks, the Fletchers, these guys came, they went. This guy was there for 12 seasons. Angus saying, what was your thoughts on Santi Cazorla? Good player.
Top footballer.
Very, very clever footballer. Very, very good footballer. Typical, I'll say this, Ben, I don't know what you think. Typical Spanish, how they breed them. Small, but strong.
Tidy.
Clever, good passing, good vision of the game. Here we go. If Carrick was so great, why didn't Spurs... Right, Proximo. Again, I have no idea what we're doing here.
Oh, what that is that's a... He went to Man United, the best team in the country.
Listen, I know you've got to jump, Ben, but Proximo, you do realise that in those days, right, when Man United wanted a player,
30 million was a lot of money in those days.
Do you remember how much they paid for him?
I think Carrick left at 18 million, wasn't it? It was 18 million. It was 18,
you know what we paid for him?
18 million was a lot of money in those days.
But you know what we paid for him, Ben?
Can't remember.
We
Levy
paid
loves
2,
that.
and Levy got his money back and some,
Yeah.
right? And a lot. I mean, what are we? What
We're
just,
talking like Tottenham were a good side in those, that we weren't a great side. We were sort of that sort of 5th, 6th, doing well under Martignol, and then we had a bit of a.
I just don't think people understand it. In that day and age, listen, when it was the same thing, when Man United came calling for Berbatov, the players want to leave. I say that, it's the same now. But with, now 18 million then is the equivalent to about 80 million now. It was
I wouldn't go
huge
that
money.
far. I would say 18 million is the equivalent of 50, 60 million, I would say, with inflation. Cool. I would say.
Cool. We'll
like
go with that. But
30 million, like 30 million for Berbatov would be 120 million now. Something along those lines.
Again, yeah, it's like, yeah, if Eric Cantona was so good, couldn't we say this about everyone? If Real Madrid, if Ronaldo was so good, why couldn't Man U hold on to him when he went to Real Madrid? Like, couldn't we do this for any player in the world?
There are just bigger fish in football.
Of course.
There were just. I loved Martignol, and Martignol loved me. Martignol wasn't Sir Alex Ferguson. If Alex Ferguson calls you up and says you're going to be the centre of my team for 12 years, you jump and you go.
Yeah, and listen, I'm going to let you go, Ben, just quickly. Yeah. Just before you did, Barcelona are 1-0 up. Inigo Martinez. So Barcelona are in absolutely fine form. Ben, thank you for coming on. It's always lovely to speak to you.
Always, Savva.
And I'll go back to being solo. So big up to you, mate.
Nick on. Call Nick and tell him to jump on.
Yeah, get Barry. Where are you, mate?
Cheers, everyone. Cheers for the chat. Cheers, Savva. I'll see you in a bit.
See you later, mate. Take care. Bye-bye. By the way, PSG, I'm being told. When I say being told, it's by an app. Sounds like I'm in a studio. PSG, I believe, are 1-0 up against Atletico Madrid. You never know, though. When the apps say there's a goal, you never know whether or not there's going to be VAR, what it means. But I think that it's going to be 1-0 to PSG. I'll let you know. Where are we? Even then, our top players knew Levy wasn't going to. Gus, absolutely. Our top players have always left Spurs to go to bigger clubs like they would now. Let's be fair. Let's just use Van de Ven, for example. If Real Madrid come in for Van de Ven, he's not going to stay at Tottenham with all the best will in the world. And I know people want to believe it's different. It's not. We're still not a big club. By the way, PSG 1, Atletico Madrid 0. It was Zaire Emery, that young striker for PSG. So let's see what that does at the moment to the Champions League table. So it's going to be forever moving. So Barcelona have moved up into 4th in that table. And PSG, where are PSG? PSG, even with that win, are going to be down in 15th unless they've not. I don't think actually they've probably factored that win in yet. Let's have a look. I don't think they factored it in. They're currently 15th. Liverpool, though, whatever happens today, Liverpool will be top of that Champions League group. Sporting in 2nd, Monaco are 3rd, Barcelona are 4th, Aston Villa still in the top 10, by the way. Arsenal are currently 9th, but will go back into the top 8 if they win. And Man City are in 10th. Did I grow up in Brockley? I did not grow up in Brockley. Not a million miles away. Maybe 2 or 3 miles away from Brockley. I am from Southeast London. Yes, that is correct, but also quite stalkery. But you are more than welcome to answer it. Foxy said the poll question isn't easy to answer. Liverpool at the best. Foxy, just so you know, the 3 teams that are in the poll are the bookies' favourites. That's why I did it. That's the only reason why those 3 are in there. Queen Ellie, yeah. Oh my God, Cantona was a genius before his time, wasn't he? What a player. Eric Cantona was a superb footballer. You know, he was that kind of Teddy Sheringham player, wasn't he? Cantona was superb. And we know that he had a bit of a temper on him, didn't we, as well? Yeah, Bale was so good. Why did he leave Spurs? Barca 1 up. Yes, they are. Ellie, I said, Crystal Palace fan, not so fond of Cantona. Yes. I wonder why, Ellie. I wonder why Crystal Palace fans are not. I haven't seen it. Everyone's talking about it. I've not seen it. Yeah. I've not seen it. But yes, I've not seen it. 1 second. Sorry, yes. Sorry, Angus. Yeah. Sorry, Angus. Yes, you are correct. Yeah, I'm thinking of the midfielder. Sorry, when you're trying to do too much at once, it's a lot going on. A user, big up. We don't get many super chats, so thank you so much for when we do. I said, club U-turn, Son new contract, only extension. 1 year extension. Thoughts? Sorry, what do you mean? He's been given a 1 year extension. Is that what we're saying? By the way, everybody in this chat, we'll come back to this in a second. Big up, a user. What can you explain to me what you mean? Not in a super chat. Can you explain to me what you mean by that? Sorry, mate. And thank you very much for the super chat. Yeah, we saw that one. Yeah, please do subscribe to Ben. Come on. Ben's a really good content creator. He gets on with everyone. You know, he's got really good knowledge of football. Can we please get him to 700? Come on. If one of you does, but if we get 10, 20 of you, please subscribing. His link is right there. I've not got a game on. I've got Sky Sports on, so I can see all the scores coming in. I might go to a game in the second half. By the way, Atletico Madrid have equalised in Paris. So we'll see if that stands. But at the moment, it looks like Atletico Madrid have equalised. I can't tell you who's got the goal yet, but it is Atletico Madrid 1-0 at PSG. Edem saying the goal was gifted. The goal was scored by Molina. Didn't he score the winning penalty for Argentina? Is that the right player? I think was it Molina? Yeah, it was Molina, wasn't it? Who got the winning penalty in the World Cup penalty shootout? Someone in there will tell me I'm wrong. Love it out. Sorry, I thought I remembered your face in the day somewhere. I grew up in Crofton Park. No, that's all right. It's all right. It's not weird. Yeah, listen, I was very near Crofton Park. I was very near there. So obviously, I don't know who you are, your name, or what you look like, but sure. Anyway, nice to see you again. Rinketic said, we all know how much you love Ginola, but who is your all-time favourite English player? Oh, my all-time favourite English player. I'm gonna pick two, and I'm not even going to apologise for it. It's got to be Gaza or Hoddle. I mean, look, you could say I'm biased for Spurs, but I don't think too many people could argue. These were two of the greatest players that England have ever produced. Do you know what? I actually thought when he was younger, Joe Cole. I thought when Joe Cole was sublime. His skill was unbelievable, but then he kind of got put into a midfielder that worked hard. But Gaza and Hoddle for me, just unbelievable. Right, so our users, their clubs were in talks with Son's camp and they were all aligned for a new contract and terms. But then all of a sudden they have U-turned and said, we'll only trigger the 1 year extension. So new contract. Interesting. I don't really know what to make of that. I mean, look, for me, I think Son should only get a 1 year contract extension. I think at some point you've got to start looking to the future, right? So if it is only 1 year, I kind of make the club right. Hey, that's just me. Bryce, big up to you, has said the club inserts a 1 year extension in all player contracts to protect themselves from players leaving on a free. Was it Montiel? Yeah, sorry, Montiel. Who did they have? They had Montiel and Molina, and there was a couple of other fullbacks that played for them in that tournament. So I'm trying to think of too much at once here. And Montiel scored that year, winning penalty. Yes. Jesus, what a good year for him. Yeah, there you go. Hoddle and Gaza. Yeah, there you go. Gaza and Hoddle. Yeah, absolutely. Hoddle and Gaza. Yeah, just superb. Just absolutely superb. Gaza and Lineker. Then listen, Gary Lineker loved putting the ball in the net, didn't he? Gary Lineker was everyone in the playground when I was growing up wanted to be Gary Lineker. Just stand around the goal and tap it in. Everyone wanted to be Gary Lineker. Top players, you know, we're talking about top players here. Where are we? 1/4 was there as well. Was it 1/4? I'm trying to think. They had was it Acuna? Was he one of the fullbacks in Argentina's World Cup winning squad? Oh, now I'm going to have to Google it, aren't I? Argentina. Oh, hang on. Let me spell. If I could spell Argentina, it'd be amazing. Argentina World Cup squad. There we go. Argentina World Cup squad. No, I want it for Argentina World Cup 22. Yeah, the 26 squads, 26 man squad. So I was thinking of, so Marcos Acuna from Sevilla at the time out, and Tagliafico as well from Lyon was the other one, right? So you had Acuna, Boyf was there, Martinez, Tagliafico, Romero, Otamendi, Molina, Montiel, and a German Pizzella. I've always liked his name. But the only one that mattered was Lionel Messi in that squad, wasn't it? Lionel Messi. Yeah, Acuna and Tagliafico. Yeah, big up to you. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, 1-4. Well, haven't really seen much of 1-4 lately. Can't even remember last time I saw him play football. By the way, guys, there is not a lot of goals in world football tonight at all. So far, you've got Coventry 0, Derby 1 for anyone that cares, which I do because I've got Coventry in the ACCA. And Jerry Yates with the goal. Red Star Belgrade 0, Barcelona 1. Inigo Martinez with the goal. PSG 1, Atletico Madrid 1. Zaire Emery with the goal for PSG, and Molina with the goal for Atletico Madrid. Other than that, there's hardly any goals in the Champions League or in the Championship. So far, 4 of the Championship games are 0-0, and only Derby have got a goal in that league. So it's a bit scarce for goals today. Maybe that will change. Ed Emma said, Hodgman Ardili is outside of Spurs. Brian Robson. Brian Robson was an all-action midfielder, wasn't he? Top player. Talking of top players, I've no idea where I'm going with this link, by the way. Millwall are 1-0 up with Leeds. Just watching the goal now. Good finish, whoever that was. Really good finish. It was the one and only Japhet Tanganga. The cross came over, for anyone that cares, the cross came over, the big centre forward headed it back, and with the kind of outstep of the boot, Tanganga just poked it home with a little volley. Go on, Japhet, come back to Spurs. Foxy saying he's back at River Plate now. Okay. Foyth, back at River Plate, right? God, isn't it mad how we remember all these football names and where they play and stuff? Steve Archibald, yeah, a little bit before my time, Tom, but my uncle talks in glowing raptures about Steve Archibald. Queen Ellie Bergvall. Where's Højbjerg? Have we changed from Højbjerg to Bergvall? We are alluding to be a big club, but Real Madrid are domestically, and we have achieved success in Europe, but we are behind the Liverpool, Man U, Man City. Yeah, absolutely. This is why when the big clubs come calling, sometimes you just can't hold on to your players. It's just the way it works. Just the way it is. I do. I do go to games in general. I used to go to Spurs for like 35, 36 years. But I won't go with Daniel Levy anymore. I do. I go to Bromley a lot. Bromley are local to me. Dartford games, Charlton. There's lots of lower league clubs in and around me. So yes. Top player. David Rocastle was a top player when I was growing up. He went too soon as well. So rest in peace to David Rocastle. Really good winger. Really good, tricky wide man. Proper winger was David Rocastle. Rocky Rocastle. Yeah, he went too soon. Forget allegiances to football clubs. He was taken far too soon, wasn't he, Rocky Rocastle? Jamie Piker said, big up, Sav, I hope you're well. That Joe Cole volley. Yes, look, Joe Cole. Do you know what? When I was growing up, so Joe Cole's about the same age as me, I think. When I was growing up, everyone in school's football was talking about, oh my God, have you seen this kid that plays for this school in East London? Yeah, now he's not allowed to play for them. He's at West Ham. Have you seen him? Have you seen him? And I remember the first time I watched him play, I was like, you are sensational. Like Joe Cole looked absolutely sensational. And don't get me wrong, Joe Cole had an amazing career. But it's almost like when he went to Chelsea, it kind of turned him from being this maverick playmaker to a wide man that tracked back. And yeah, you got to track back, but it kind of took away a little bit of it. But hey, it is what it is. Proximo said, after Son, who do you think Spurs star player will be? Or maybe Ange is not a fan of big star. I don't think there is a star player, if I'm honest. I don't think any of them right now are star players. I think what we've got is a team of it's being built into a team, right? I don't see any of them as superstars. I don't see any of them as world class. But that's just me. Yeah, the Tanganga. Yeah, good old Tanganga. Down at Millwall. Who would have thought it? Down at Millwall. That Hotspurs guy said, still think we done Jaffet wrong. That's because we're both Hackney brethren. Look, it's always the same with younger players, right? It's sometimes they're just not as good as we think they are. Sometimes they're not developed in the way they should be. Sometimes they're played out of position. Sometimes they've got top players in front of them. By the way, anyone in the chat, can you tell me how the Inter-Arsenal game, how's it going? Like, let me know. How is the Inter-Arsenal game going? I've got no way of knowing. I've got Sky Sports News on. Your cousin lives in Bromley. I'm about a mile from Bromley. I live a mile from Bromley. So, yeah, actually, the Bromley postcode starts at the end of my road. So, yes. Whereabouts in Bromley does your cousin live? What's your cousin's name? Jurgen, what a striker. By the way, Red Star Belgrade have equalized against Barcelona. I'm gonna attempt this. I'm gonna attempt it. Stilas Wamingatuka Fundu. I think I might have somewhere right, but Stilas Wamingatuka Fundu has equalized for Red Star Belgrade against Barcelona. So let's see what that does. I think that will obviously knock Barcelona. Yeah, Barcelona have now dropped into 9th, and it puts Arsenal. That game has put Arsenal back into the top 8. So Arsenal currently in the top 8. R. Green has said, my mum is a Liverpool fan and has seen some of the greats of Liverpool play. She's always said to me that Hoddle is one of the best she's seen. Glenn Hoddle was one of the greatest players that ever lived. He was absolutely superb. Yes, he was. For a tricky, very skillful winger, he was very strong. Savva, biased aside, favourite rival player of all time? Oh, of all time? When you say rival, are you talking Arsenal or are we saying Chelsea, West Ham? What are we talking about? Give me a little. Let me know what you mean, Angus. I need a bit of time for that. There's been a lot of players of all time. Let me know what you mean by that. Rocastle grew up in Brockley. Go on, Brockley. A lot of Brockley tonight. Ellie said, I agree. Hoddle and Gaza, my 2 picks too, Savva, but I'm throwing 2 more cheeky English greats. Listen, Matt Le Tissier, again, if he could have run, would have had 150 England caps. But the problem is he was a bit like, not on the same level, but he was a bit Hoddle-like, where he was a maverick. He played in that position that didn't really exist before him, if you know what I mean. So he was never going to be put in a 4-4-2. But yeah, Le Tissier. And what I hear, Stan Bowles was amazing. I don't remember him. You know, I don't remember watching him. I was too young. But top footballer, Matt Le Tissier, and scored goals for fun. Luddy said should be a pen for Arsenal in the EFL half-time between Millwall and Leeds. Millwall 1, Leeds 0. Half-time Blackburn 0, Stoke 0. The other team in the ACCA. It looks like it's going to, the majority of the game looks like it's with Blackburn at the moment. Foxy said, I went to a non-league game, Blythe Spartans. Norberto Solano, the manager, but they sacked him quick and had to cancel games for the last weeks as volunteers were protesting. Oh, that's really sad to hear. But Nobby Solano was a very good player. Newcastle, right? I want to say Villa. I want to say Newcastle Villa, and I want to say West Ham. Someone in the chat will let me know if I got that wrong. No, he's not in. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. I don't know what this means. Parquois said Arsenal have had a few chances, should have scored easily. Still 0-0 from what I can see. But we've got the half times coming in the EFL. There's a couple of EFL games that kicked off later. Luton 0, Cardiff 0 still. Preston 0, Sunderland 0. Gus, just superb. Just absolutely superb. Jamie Pike's gone with Thierry Henry. In all of them. Oh gosh. I mean, look, in the Premier League era, really hard to look past the likes of Henry. Tony Adams. Really hard to look. I mean, Ashley Cole. I'm just going through Arsenal. I'll go through some other guys. Ashley Cole, one of the best fullbacks I've ever seen play football. Chelsea, John Terry, what a centre-half. Zola, what a player. Zola was superb footballer. Chelsea had players like Marcel Desailly as well. They've had some wonderful players, Makelele. West Ham have had some top footballers through the years, the likes of Michael Carrick, Frankie Lampard. So look, a lot of good players in that time. You think even Crystal Palace had some great players, the likes of Ian Wright and Mark Bright and Jeff Thomas, and some really good players. That hot Spurs guy said Drogba or Henry. Yeah, Drogba, big game player, right? Drogba was a big game player. By the way, people, do keep smashing the likes. We've only got 77 likes. We should have easily 100 by now. By the way, in the poll, we've had 162 votes. Who will win the Champions League this season? Real Madrid, 18%. Man City, 7%. Barcelona, 45%. And 30% for someone else. So Barcelona getting some real good numbers there. A very different players, Gus. Very different players. I love them both. Just amazing. Obviously, I caught the end of Hoddle's career, watching him back then. Even seeing him when he was playing at Swindon and Chelsea as player manager, you could just see that he was just ridiculous. I tell you what, I did watch this the other night. What a good watch that is. The respect that Scholes, Neville, Wrighty, Keane, Jill Scott, the respect they gave to Hoddle was amazing. Ian Wright still calls him Gaffer. Ian Wright calls him Gaffer. And I think he's only about 8 or 9 years younger than him, isn't he? But he calls him Gaffer. Keane, I've never seen him that respectful to anybody. But yeah, absolutely mad. Foxy has said, Cantampo and Vumpa is just called Silas now. Formerly known, my mind is blown. Whatever you've just said, I still don't get. My mind is blown. Top player. What a player. This is the sort of bloke you watched and went, yeah, I like you. What a footballer. And who can forget the goal? The goal he scored. Okay, yes, there we go. Hang on, Solano played for Hartlepool. Wow, I'm guessing you're still talking about Solano there. Don't understand. Yes, I did. Bergkamp, wonderful player. Dennis Bergkamp, one of the greats to have played in the Premier League. It's just such a shame that he couldn't play away European games, right? I used to go to the Den quite a lot when Spurs weren't playing and I was a kid. Where are we? Lamine Yamal to win it. What, the Champions League? Listen, I'll tell you what, Yamal, he's special. We talk a lot about generational. He's the only generational kid I've seen lately. He is ridiculously good. Haaland has said, look, Liverpool, the bookies, I think, have got them as like 5th favourites at the moment. But, hey, long way to go. Ellie, I mean, obviously from before my time, but, Trevor Brooking, Bobby Moore, Devonshire. I mean, look, West Ham had some greats, didn't they? You could look at, my uncle absolutely raves, Ellie. Just in terms of how old you are, older than me. People like Rodney Marsh. He talks about, Lee Bell and Summerby as well from Man City. But obviously some of them were before my time. Big up, AV. No takeaway today. Just so you know, I had a nice chicken stew. So no takeaway for me today. Hope you're well, buddy. Hope you're well. Ed Emma said Arsenal players, Bergkamp, David O'Leary, very good footballer. David O'Leary as I was growing up. Forgot Sol. It's such a shame, isn't it? Because what a player Sol Campbell was. It's the reason we hate him that much, right? If he was crap and had gone to Arsenal, we wouldn't care. But what a player that he was. It's just such a shame. Yes, I do. Yes, I do think he meant that goal. There are certain players that have got it. And he is one of them. He's got it. And for me, I truly think he meant that goal. I thought he was a fantastic player. I hated playing against Arsenal. I used to hate playing against you lot when you had Bergkamp, Vieira, Henri, Perez, you know, the likes of Gilberto. Like you were so much better than us in those days. You were, honestly, listen, I know Spurs fans, we don't want to admit it, but when we used to play Arsenal, we hated it, right? Carnu got a wonderful goal at White Hart Lane. Yeah, again, Arsenal just had an abundance of talent, in the Champions League. Sparta Prague 0, Brest 1. Fernandes with the goal. Edmilson Fernandes with his first goal in this season's Champions League. And I'll tell you what that does. Let's have a look at the UEFA Champions League group. Brest, if I'm not wrong, right? If I'm not wrong, I'm waiting for that for the website to catch up. I think that puts Brest into third place in the Champions League group. What a wonderful campaign they're having. Only 4 games gone, but they're giving themselves a real good chance of going through. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't a contest. It wasn't. Arsenal were just superior. Then we started to close the gap. But now we've got to win things, right? We've got to win things if we want to really talk on their level. The halftime scores in the Championship: Blackburn 0, Stoke 0, Coventry 0, Derby 1, Millwall 1, Leeds 0. Luton Cardiff isn't at halftime yet, still 0-0. Preston 0, Sunderland 0. Sunderland will be fancying a win there because that will take them 4 points clear at the top. So with Leeds, hang on, let's have a look. With Leeds losing as well. Hang on, let's see. Yeah, if Sunderland win, they go 4 points clear of Sheffield United, and they'll be 6 points clear of Leeds in third. So a nice gap opening up. At the moment, though, they are still 0-0 at Preston. So a long way to go. AV, Ben joined me earlier. There might be a few people later, but I didn't put it out to too many people because sometimes it gets quite difficult trying to read the scores and do all the stuff. So apologies if people don't like just seeing this little face or big face or ugly face or old face or wrinkly face, whatever you want to call it. Big up to Scott. How you doing, man? Hope you are well. As I said, please, as you enter the room, please smash the like button. We are 14 likes away from the 100 mark, so please do. And as far as subscribers go, I'm sure you are all subscribed. If you're not, please do subscribe. We're only 4 away from 14.1k, which would be really, really good considering we only hit 14k last week. So that would be absolutely brilliant. Spurs on the Rocks has said, my old man is a massive Millwall fan. I was gutted I started supporting Tottenham. He never forgive Gaza from stealing my heart. Listen, I mean, Gaza was just everything about him, his personality, the way he played, the smile on the face. He was just superb, wasn't he? Great question. Gedson Fernandes. Where is Gedson Fernandes now? Somebody, hang on. I saw him the other day in a team. Where did I see Gedson Fernandes? Someone let us know. Where is Gedson Fernandes in world football? We got him instead of Bruno Fernandes, didn't we? Do you remember? Typical Spurs. Luddy 22 has said he likes Sunderland, or she, I don't know. Luddy, guy, girl, let me know. Like Sunderland, would like to see them back in the Prem. Oh, hang on. Angus is saying Besiktas. Crouch. Is it Crouch? Am I pronouncing him Crouch? Let me know. He's saying Fenerbahce. Hang on. I'll tell you what. I'll do a little bit of searching myself. Gedson. Here we go. Gedson Fernandes. Gedson Fernandes, who plays a midfielder for Besiktas. Let's see who was right. Oh, it's Besiktas. It's Besiktas. Yeah. Oh, -1 point. I'm only joking. But isn't it mad, though, how our brains, like, we try and retain where every footballer plays in the world. But if my wife says, do you remember I asked you to do that thing this morning? I can't remember anything. The leftovers said, we're so disappointing. I was so happy when we were linked to Bruno, then got a nobody instead. Look, whatever people think of Bruno Fernandes, listen, he's had a wonderful goal scoring and assist record in the Premier League. Whatever we think of him, listen, he annoys the hell out of me. He really does. But he's had superb numbers. Gus, I said, the best individual performance I've ever seen was Gaza at the City Ground in 1990. 1-3-1, he was on another plane. Listen, I mean, Gaza, yes, in that season was was just unplayable. I mean, do you remember him in the cup semi-final against Arsenal where we won 3-1? Again, he was just brilliant. Then he ran into the camera, didn't he? And he went, I'm off to get my suit measured. Like, yeah, go on, Gazza. Loved those days. It wasn't as robotic. You had proper footballers that were mavericks and they could do things. Angus is telling me that we're actually playing well tonight, Angus said. The Arsenal, well, at the moment, still 0-0. I'll take your word for it that you're playing well. By the way, still Bayern 0, Benfica 0. Apparently, according to my app, Bayern have had 74% possession, 26 to Benfica, and apparently no goal attempts on or off target. I find that hard to believe, but that's what this app is saying. Inter Milan versus Arsenal, let's see. They're saying that Arsenal had 5 attempts at goal to Inter's 4, but which app is going to determine what? Alpha said we won. The Aston Villa fans can shove it. Okay, fair enough. Big up, Alf. I love that. When you say we won, aren't you Man City? Or are you now Malmo? Are we Malmo and Man City, are we, Alf? I love it. Do you know what I might do? I might start supporting another team as well in another country. I might start supporting another team. Who is the most unlikable player in the Prem? By the way, Barcelona are 2-1 up. Barcelona are 2-1 up at Red Star Belgrade. And he loves scoring goals, doesn't he? If I say that, you know who scored. This guy is about 412. I always use that number. He scored again. Robert Lewandowski. He scores goals for fun. Let's have a look. This season, Lewandowski has 14 league goals in 12 games. He's got 2 cup goals in 2 cup games. And now he's got 4 Champions League goals in 4 Champions League games. That's not bad for a 30... Lewandowski, for a 36-year-old. That's not bad at all, is it? Where are we? It was at the 91 semi. Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, we went from Lo Celso over Bruno Fernandes because of data analytics. Said Lo Celso is great and Bruno. Look, it's strange how these things work out, isn't it? It's strange how they work out. Still, Inter Milan 0, Arsenal 0. Paul Merson is in the studio doing that game. 44 minutes and 44 seconds gone. Where are we? Matty Cash being put forward. Sorry, Alf, not Malmo. Sorry. I'm Club Bruges and Man City. Mum's from Salford, grew up in Bruges. Favourite colour as a child was blue. Fair enough. Thank you for that. Matt Letizia, yeah, 47 out of 48 penalties. We love a little trip down memory lane, don't we? I think it's really important to have them. Spurs King confirming that, yes, it is. Matty Cash. Look, I'll be honest. I find one of the most unlikable people is a Spurs player. You know, if I say that, who do you think I'm talking about? One of the most unlikable players in the league is a Spurs player. I think Bruno Fernandes, as good as he is, I think is unlikable. Matty Cash is unlikable. But Richarlison for me is just, I find him really unlikable as a character. In the first 60 seconds he came on the other day, no one touched him and he went down holding his knee or his shin in pain. The referee waved play on and he got straight back up and just started running. And I don't like all that, but yeah, everyone's got, yeah, look. Oh, Neil Mope. There's a cheeky little shout. Neil Mope. Yeah, he's a niggly little git as well, isn't he, old Mope? Oh yeah, he's not for me. Hang on. Is it a penalty to Inter Milan? Is it? Hang on, Paul Merson's gone to it. Is it a penalty? Can someone in the chat confirm? Is it a penalty? Because I've got the sound off. So hang on. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm being an idiot. Why don't I just go to the game? Inter versus Arsenal. I've gone over. And yes, it looks like it's Çalhanoğlu is about to take the pen. Angus is saying it's not a pen. You're saying it's not a pen. But Çalhanoğlu's put his foot down. Feyenoord are losing. The bet's awful. Feyenoord losing at home to Salzburg, who didn't have a single point before tonight. But stay with me. Inter Milan have got a penalty at home to Arsenal, and it is Çalhanoğlu, the Turkish midfielder, is going to step up against Raya. Considering it's not a penalty, Angus, it really looks like one. Çalhanoğlu is going to step up. He's going to take 2 or 3 steps, right-footed. Raya's waving his arms about. VAR are still penalty check. What's going on? This is mental. So you've got a penalty check going on whilst the penalty taker's ready to take the penalty. How? What are we doing? I haven't seen the penalty instant, by the way. I just find it really funny. Check over. It is a penalty. It is a penalty. Sorry, Angus. It is a penalty. Çalhanoğlu is going to step up. Çalhanoğlu sends the ball straight down the middle of the goal. Raya dived. He didn't dove, did he? You don't dove. He dived to his left, and it's 1-0 to Inter Milan and Arsenal. Arsenal. I love Angus so much. I just love it. I just love it. I love it. He's going, never a penalty. Comment above, clear pen. Absolutely love it. I still haven't seen it. I'm hoping they'll show it. But it's right on the stroke of half time. So Inter Milan, with all their players on the bench, apparently, are 1-0 up. Good penalty, just to the left of the centre of the goal. And let's see what that does, shall we, to the Champions League table. Liverpool first, Sporting second, Monaco third, Brest are in fourth, Barcelona are in fifth, Dortmund in sixth, Villa are seventh, Inter have now gone into eighth, and Arsenal have dropped down to ninth. So there's some big teams currently outside the top 4, but there's a lot of games to go. And the halftime whistle has just gone. So Inter Milan are Inter Milan are winning 1-0 away. At home, and Arsenal are losing. Hey, it is what it is. VAR is so bad, it's hilarious. I hate VAR. I really do. I know. I don't care. Even when Savva hated James Milner. Alpesh, are you speaking for me now? Have I ever said that I hate James Milner? I think James Milner is the ultimate pro. I don't think there's anything to really hate about James Milner. He's been a top player, playing for top clubs. He's won so much in the game. You think that man has played for Villa, Man City, Newcastle, Leeds when they were good, and Liverpool, now Brighton. I mean, I don't think there's anything to not like. So please don't talk for me, Alpesh. Any chance world-class Saka stepping up away from home? Here we go. Listen, I like Saka as a player. I just don't think he is what the Arsenal fans think he is. I think he's a good player, but we'll see. I think he's a very good player, but when they start talking about world class and stuff, I don't think so. Great save in the Blackburn game. Really good save in the Blackburn game. Harriet Pryor reporting. Really good low down save that is. Gus Parker said Slot is murdering. Does that mean Liverpool are good? Where are we? Canati for Salzburg. Yes, Canati got the goal for Salzburg, and I've got Feyenoord in my ACCA. So the ACCA's absolutely gone. Angus, you take a point tonight, but yeah, none of us have forgotten. None of us have forgotten. You said it was going to be 2-1. Oh no, Savva, I hated. Oh, Savva. Oh, you hated Alpesh. Apologies. Sorry, it reads as Savva hated. Apologies. Yeah, Lee, I'll be tuning in later. Big up to Lee Gunn. I hope you're well, Lee. I say that. I know he's not watching. I'm sure he's doing his own stream. He'll be very unhappy. Where are we? Yeah, I like him. I think Çalhanoğlu is a very good footballer. A really good footballer. Guess the flavour. What flavour juice does everyone think this is? There you go. I'll let you have another look. What do you think? Guess the flavour. 5 points to whoever guesses the flavour first. It's not some nice Fanta. No, it's not nice Fanta. You, Angus, I'm going to break something to you, right? You're in a Spurs channel. Right? Essentially, first and foremost, I'm a Spurs fan, right? So most people in here watching me are going to be Spurs fans. Do you really think we're all going to sit there and go, Arsenal are great, blah, blah. We're not haters. I think, what part didn't you hear me say? He's a very good footballer, Angus. What part of that are you not listening to? He's a very good footballer. I just don't think I don't think he's world class or hit the levels that you guys think he's hit. That's just me. I think at some point he's going to have to leave to hit those levels and play for a bigger club. That's just me. Where are we? Not mango, not orange or pineapple. No, not pineapple. No. No one's got it. No one's got it. Yeah, it's like me going into Arsenal fan TV and going, oh, you're all haters. Why don't you think we're brilliant? Yeah, well, they're Arsenal. Oh, Angus, come on. Are you truly telling me? Tell us all now. Yes, and it is that. It is that. I love a bit of peach. Love it. I don't like eating it. I like drinking it. Are you telling me, Angus, that you truly believe that Bukayo Saka is a world-class footballer? Walks into any team in world football. Are you really telling me that? I'm not having it. Albesan also hated the Bogey versus us. Skulls in the League Cup final. I love Peach Robinson's. It's a lot of information. Yeah, bit of Robinson's peach juice. Really, really big fan of peach juice. Adiz has said, score prediction for our game tomorrow, Savva. We need to beat Galatasaray. Adiz, I find it really difficult to predict these scores when I don't know the lineups. Oh, one of my lights just went. Sorry, let me just put that on charge. Sorry, one of my lights just went. One of my smaller spotlights just died a death. Let's put that in rest it in there. Hopefully you can all still see me. Hopefully that's still bright enough, right? You can still see me. There you go. Bit of light on my face. Yeah, so for games like tomorrow, I want to see I want to see what the lineups are before I start talking about, oh, we're going to win 3-0. Yeah, so I'll predict tomorrow. I wouldn't trade Rafinha or Yamal for Saka. In what way do you mean that? Sorry. So you would rather Rafinha or Yamal than Saka is what you're saying, right? Or the other way around. Is there an option where Inter Milan and Arsenal both lose? I don't think there is. I'm not sure. I've been watching football for many years. I've not seen it yet. Who's more world class? I don't think Son is at all. I've always said that I think Son has been a world class finisher. I've never thought he was a world class footballer. But Son in his peak was devastating. Look, Saka's got a lot of years left of football, right? Saka's got a lot of years left, but and by the way, I know it's considered hate because I'm a Spurs fan. I've said he's a very good player. I just don't think he's. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't. I just don't think he's anywhere near it, Angus. I don't. There's too many games where I watch him and I don't notice that he's playing. You know, he'll do one or two things. World-class players don't. World-class players are at it. Apple and pear. I'm all over that. I'm all over a bit of apple and pear. I love a pear. I really do like a pear. Gus said tomorrow is a throwaway. Well, yeah, look, I mean, tomorrow's game, I'm not too bothered about tomorrow's game. You don't want to lose it for momentum, but, we gave ourselves the first 3 wins. It gives you a bit of breathing room. What you don't want to do, though, is go there and get smashed, right, and see your goal difference start wilting away. Look, if we look at our goal difference in the Europa League, our current goal difference is +5. You wouldn't want to go there, get beaten 4-0, and all of a sudden your goal difference is down to 1. AV, so I've got my 5 points. I would love to add it to us on the Prem table. Yeah, that would see us in third, wouldn't it? Catalan said Angus Saka bottles big games. Jamie said Saka has the potential to be world class under a better manager, head coach. Sam Smith said, Savva, I'm seeing Arsenal fans saying that Nwaneri is as good as Yamal. I mean, look, I've seen bits of Nwaneri. Look, none of these people are Yamal. This Yamal's been in the Barcelona first team for a long time now. He's in the Spanish first team. He's still only 17. He was winning the Euros at the age of 16. Like there's levels to this. Nwaneri, from what I've seen of him, looks a really good footballer, but he's a kid who, isn't starting games of football. I think we need to wait until players have played a lot of football before we start praising them. Same with Spurs fans and Mikey Moore. The praise is too soon for these young players, in my humble opinion. Foxy, big up Foxy, has said, for Saka to be world class, I need to see him do what Bale did in the San Siro vids. Right. Performances like that are what set you apart, right, Foxy? And I know you're not a Spurs fan, so I know we can have this open conversation. That night was the I've arrived night, right? And it was sensational. He was unplayable that night. I'll tell you, this is how bad the ACCA's gone. At the moment, in my ACCA, I've got Blackburn, Stoke, and Stoke are 1-0 up. Coventry, Derby are 1-0 up. Luton, Cardiff 0-0, and Feyenoord are losing at home to Salzburg. So 3 of my teams losing at home 1-0. Yeah, but I think fans just get a little bit too carried away, don't they? By the way, the goal scorer for Stoke has got a great name. His first name is Million, and his surname is Manhoff. Million Manhoff has scored for Stoke at Ewood Park. Hard to believe that Blackburn won the Premier League title, didn't they? Yeah, he is 23. He's 23. He's got years ahead of him. That's what I said. Let's not start making players better than they are. He's got a lot of time. But for me, I think at some point he'll have to go to a bigger club if he's that good. Sorry if anyone can hear a squeaky noise. That is a squeaky grape toy that my dog has decided to bring upstairs. Yusuf has said Son is past his sell-by date, not the player he was. Look, I think the politer way of saying that, Yusuf, is he's got a bit older. Sorry if anyone can hear squeaking. Can you all hear that squeaking? It's really loud for me. I'm just not sure if my mic's going to pick it up or if it's noise cancelling. Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Yeah. Blackburn 0, Stoke 1. Big up to the Sheriff. Mark is in the house. How you doing, man? Said just watch the first half handball. Was a bit harsh in my opinion, although it was justice. Said it wasn't a penalty, but Arsenal deserved it. Brilliant. Yamal's won a European trophy. Listen, Yamal is. Does anyone remember at the beginning of last season? Spurs played Barcelona in a friendly. And before the game, I said to everyone, watch this kid when he comes on. And he just turned 16 at the time. And he came on and ripped Spurs a new one. He ripped us apart. He was brilliant. He ripped us a new one. And he's gone from strength to strength. And then obviously the Euros and this year he's on fire. Yeah, listen, do you know what? I said last night, Davinson Sanchez to score the winner in the last minute. I wonder what odds you'd get on it. 0-0, Davinson Sanchez at the end. Angus, you're a typical deluded Arsenal fan, according to Sam Smith. Why can't you be more like Anthony Clark? Oh, yes. Double S16, who's also an Arsenal fan, said, do you class Kane as world class? He wasn't doing what Saka is doing at his age. What is Saka doing at his age? That's what I'm asking. At the age of 23, what was Harry Kane doing? Should we have a look? Let's see if you're right, shall we? Let's have a look. Right, let's go to Wikipedia. Let's see what Harry Kane was doing at the age of 23. I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. We're going to have a look. Harry Kane. So Harry Kane is 31 years of age. So he would have been 23 8 years ago. 8 years ago would have been the 2016-2017 season. In the 2016-2017 season, Harry Kane scored 35 goals in 38 games. At the age of 23, Harry Kane got 35 in 38. Again, somebody has typed without doing their homework. 35 in 38 is formidable. That's a formidable record for a striker. Absolutely. I always think give these players time before we want to make them at world class. Yeah, they're on the Acca. Yeah. The Acca's gone. I need 3 teams to come from behind 1-0. Yeah, Bale. But look, when we're talking about Bale versus Saka, you're talking about chalk and cheese. Bale was so superior to Saka, it's unreal. Forget that he played for Spurs. Just look at him. Just absolutely sublime. Alpesh said, does Sonny need managing games? Needs more resting. He's younger than Robert Lewandowski, but he's thriving. Yeah, but the difference is Lewandowski's game isn't about pace, is it? It's about being smart, scoring goals. Sonny's game has always been about pace. They're very different players. Zia said another away game. Aston Villa lost today. Yeah, Z, so what? So what? If you're talking about our conversation the other day, we're talking about the Premier League. So Z, if you're going to come in and be silly again, please I haven't got the energy for someone as silly as you tonight. Saka has been performing at a top class level for the last 3 years. Performances and statistics wise, Kane was just doing numbers, not delivering in finals and didn't win nothing. What's Saka delivered in finals and won anything? What's Saka delivered? This is what, listen, I don't want to get into the whole Spurs Arsenal debate, but if we're going to start talking about things like that, the season before, by the way, again, you've not done your homework, right? You've not done your homework, right? In the 2014-2015 season, Kane got 31 goals. In the 15-16 season, he got 28 goals. In the 16-17 season, he got 35 goals. Again, you're just plucking, it's just nonsense. You're just talking nonsense at this stage. Saka's a very good footballer. For me, though, I just think he's a tad overrated by Arsenal fans. Absolutely. Lamine Yamal is what Arsenal fans think Saka is. Yeah, let me guess. The Arsenal fans would probably rather have Saka than Yamal. Let me ask the Arsenal fans. There's 3 or 4 of them in the chat. Who are you taking, Yamal or Saka? Let's see what they say. Yes, Sheriff. Yeah. Listen, the man was scoring goals since the moment he walked into the first team at Spurs. The man banged in goals. And yet I've got an Arsenal fan pretending, trying to make up. This guy always does this. He comes in and says things off the top of his head. Again, anyone who watches my shows, I like facts and I like evidence. Asher said, Drogba is world-class. Better explain than Kane. Better explain than... What do you mean, sorry? Better explain than Kane? Let me know what you mean by that. Saka stepped in at Arsenal at 18. Kane was on a bench on loan somewhere. Right? Okay. But what's Saka done? What's Saka done? By the way, I'm not saying Harry Kane done anything in terms, but what's Saka done? I don't know what he's done. I've not seen it. Everyone was talking about it. I've not seen it yet. I've not seen it. Yeah, listen, this is what I mean. If you're going to come with what did Kane do at the age of 23? Well, he'd had 2 to 3 seasons in the Premier League of scoring 30 plus goals. So it's all a bit silly, isn't it? It's really, really silly. Listen, I like Saka. As I said, I can't keep saying it. I don't know if they want me to say he's world class. It's not going to happen. You guys and girls that watch me regularly know that I don't just call anybody world class. Yusuf said, I think Saka is predictable. Listen, I mean, look, I like Saka. I think he has some really good games. For me, not enough to put him at that level, if I'm going to be brutally honest. Not enough at that level. Oh, yeah, it's not even a thing, is it? It's not even a thing. I think the key thing is as well, Kane, from when he came into the first team, just went boom, 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 and hasn't stopped scoring goals since. He's an absolute goal machine, isn't he? Drogba was the ultimate big game player. Drogba wasn't your prolific 30, 40 goals a season, but Drogba was a big game player, massive game player. The Hotspurs guy said these Arsenal fans can't never. Yeah, I know. This is where I find it's why I don't go on some of these silly panel shows, because no one can just say that's a really good player. They go, oh no, he played for Spurs. He's rubbish. I don't get it. Proximo says Saka's a very good player, but if he can't take a very good Arsenal team to the title, then he's not world class. Look, I just don't think he's world class, even if they won the title. I think he's a good player. world class is just massive, isn't it? What do you mean? What's he done? He's been putting up mega numbers. Mega numbers. Right. Let's have a look. Mega numbers. Again, you're using terms that don't make sense. Mega numbers. Bukayo Saka. Hang on. Oh, let's spell his name right, Richard. Bukayo. Mega numbers. Just remember. Right. Mega numbers. I mean, he's had 1 year where in all competitions he's got 20 goals. That's not mega numbers. That's good. That's not mega. Mega is 30 plus a season. What are we doing here? Oh God, Yamal plays for any team in the world. He is sensational. He is absolutely brilliant. Spurs on the Rock said Saka being stifled by Arteta's tactics. Don't think he's really progressed in the last couple of years. Interesting. Look, I've got Saka's. Look, again, if we're just going by stats, listen, he's improving as a player. There's no doubt. You know, he got 12 in 43, then 15 in 48, 20 in 47. This year so far, he's only got 3 in 13. But look, he's 23. There's still time for Saka to progress. But Yamal for me, yeah, he is right up there. Yeah, exactly. This is what I mean. It's just saying things like, look, mega numbers. Why are you saying goals? I'm not right. Double S16. Stop doing this. First of all, I don't have children on my chat, right? So when you say suit your agenda, all I did is I went to Wikipedia and looked at the goals. Let's have a look at the assists and goals, shall we? All right. I just literally went to Wikipedia. Stop getting your panties in a twist, mate. You do this every night. Hang on. Every night this guy does this. It's typical fans that are so biased. Okay, mega numbers. All right, last year, 16. Last year, he got 25 with assists. Good numbers. It's not mega. The year before that, he got 25, 14, and 25. It's not mega. It's good. It's good, but it's not mega. Then let's look at Mo Salah. Mo Salah, that's mega numbers. Kane is mega numbers. Lewandowski is mega numbers. But for me, it's not just the numbers, right? It's watch him. He's good. He's a good player. But again, in massive games, I don't really see him step up. By the way, Stuttgart 0, Atalanta 1. Adamola Lookman has scored again. That boy is in very good goal-scoring form. He's got 6 in 8 in the league. He's got 1 in the Italian Cup. And now he's got his 2nd in the Champions League as well. So that is his 9th goal in all competitions this season. I just live for a day. Listen, he's a very good player, Double S. I don't know what you want. What is it you want me to say? Tell me what you want me to say and I'll say it, right? What do you want me to say? I've said he's a very good player. What is it you're after, right? What is it that you need to make you, I mean, you're so insecure in your opinion. What is it that you need me to say to agree with you? Let's see. Can I do Dele Alli stats? Yes, we can do Dele Alli stats. Dele Alli, where are we? Dele Alli, here we go. So Dele Alli, I mean, in his pomp, Dele Alli got 25 goal contributions in the 16-17 season. That was his best season. So his best season was the same as Bukayo Saka. And again, 18 goals. Yeah, 18 goals. There you go. Sorry, somebody put it in. 18 goals. So yeah, look, again, he wasn't world class. He was a very good player at the time. Obviously, it all fell apart and it's not gone well, but he fell apart. Yeah, Lookman is flying. Lookman is absolutely flying. He again, another player getting better with age. He's getting better with age. Didn't he score a couple of, was it 2 or 3? How many goals did he score in the Europa League final? Was it 2? Was it 3? Listen, everyone, keep it clean in the chat, please. All right? Keep it clean, please. But I suppose, listen, it all depends on what fans think is mega numbers. At the end of the day, when I watch him against the bigger games, I just need to see more. I need to see, like, be the talisman every game. You know, Do something where the world stands up and goes, wow, I think he's a very good player. I'm not prepared to put him anywhere near the words world and class, anywhere near it. If he's world class, then we've got something very wrong in football. Cy Dancer said Dele was unplayable that season. Yeah, it's a shame what happened to Dele Alli. He really was. And by the way, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Spurs on the Rocks, who put in a super chat. Thank you. Very generous £10 super chat. Said, top man Savva, enjoying the stream tonight. Big up to you and your broccoli roots just down the road. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Look, I'm always appreciative of the super chat. So thank you very much. And it is hard to do a 3-hour stream where you're just talking by yourself. So big up to you. Thank you very much. And again, thank you, a user, for your earlier super chat as well. So thank you very much, guys, for that. Really appreciate that. In other news, back to the football. Barcelona are 3-1 up, and it is Lewandowski again. Lewandowski has got another goal. I'm just going to look at him here to see if he's on. At the moment, there's a long way to go. But he is on par to get another 40-plus goal-scoring season. His best ever league campaign was 41 goals for Bayern Munich in 2021. This guy is aging like a fine wine, isn't he? He's a predator. He is a predator in the box. He's got a brace tonight. And in other news, Jacob Brown has scored for Luton. So it's Luton 1, Cardiff 0. Luton 1, Cardiff 0. Jacob Brown with, let's have a look, Jacob Brown with his second goal of the season, Jacob Brown. So the scores in the Championship are Blackburn 0, Stoke 1, Coventry 0, Derby 1, Millwall 1, Leeds 0, Luton 1, Cardiff 0, Preston 0, Sunderland 0. Sunderland, we've got a real big chance to open up a gap at the top. And at the moment, they're still 0-0, but half an hour to go in that game. In the Champions League, it's Bayern Munich 0, Benfica 0, Feyenoord 0, Salzburg 1, Inter 1, Arsenal 0, PSG 1, Atletico 1, Red Star 1, Barcelona 3, Sparta Prague 0, Brest 1, and Stuttgart 0, Atalanta 1. And if anyone cares, the game going on at the moment in Argentina is Banfield 1, Belgrano 1. And in the conference, no, I won't do the conference scores. But there is 30 odd minutes to go in most of the games, maybe a little bit more in some of the Champions League games. Savva, if we'd had Lewandowski last season, we'd have won the Premier League. Angus, how many teams down the years could say this? If we just had this, if we'd had that, if we'd had, we can all say it, but you didn't. You ain't got him. Nordic Spur has said, out traveling for work. So on the train now. Instead of watching a game, I'm here getting updates and results from you, Nordic Spur. Hopefully the whole train can't see my ugly face, but big up to you. By the way, Barcelona are 4-1 up, and it's Rafinha this time. Another guy I would have loved at Spurs in the summer. Another guy that is flying. Let's have a look at how much he's flying, shall we? Rafinha this season has 7 goals and 6 assists in 12 league games. And that is his 5th Champions League goal in 4 games. So he is flying this season. The front three of Rafinha, Lamau, and Lewandowski, absolutely flying that front three this season. Jules Koundé, by the way, with a couple of assists. And tonight, Rafinha has 2 assists and a goal. So another very good night for Barcelona and Rafinha. And Felix, Felix? What am I talking about? Flick is doing a wonderful job. There we go. Lewandowski, Ibrahimovic, Kane, the type of players to change their game to match their aging skill sets. Similar to Rooney too. Absolutely. And Feyenoord 0, Salzburg 2. Feyenoord 0, Salzburg 2. So before tonight, Salzburg had no points. They had conceded 9 goals. And now tonight they are winning 2-0 away at Feyenoord. So a few goals starting to go in across all the competitions at the moment. Agreed. That is what makes players world class. Absolutely. Sam has said Savva Inter's 3-5-2 setup is what I'd love to see Spurs play. I agree. I'd like to see that one day. I think that it makes sense of all the players that we've got. Yeah, Philly, he is absolutely on fire, isn't he? Barca, I tell you what, Blackburn nearly scored a worldie, whoever that was. Whoever it was, took a curling shot right on the corner of the box. Who was that? Doyle, I think it is. That young Doyle? And the keeper tipped it over the bar. Blackburn, now they've not scored. And again, their cross has come in, headed across. The keeper's having a worldie. The keeper for Stoke is having a world. Let's see who that keeper is for Stoke. The Stoke keeper is Johansson, Victor Johansson, who they signed from Rotherham. He's having a worldie in goal tonight. By the way, Coventry 0, Derby County 2. Coventry 0, Derby County 2. Another bad day for Coventry at home. I think their best game of the season was probably against Spurs, wasn't it? The second Salzburg goal was scored by Karim Konate, who got the first goal as well. So Konate's got a brace, and I'll let you know. I'm just watching the Derby goal now. Long goal kick, went all the way down the pitch. The number 10 crossed it left-footed. It dinked up. The guy took a left-footed cross. It hit the defender's foot and looped over the keeper. A bit unlucky, but it was Yates again. Yates has got a brace for Derby County tonight. So Derby look like they're about to win at Coventry. And that win will put Derby County, where will that put Derby County? Up into 13th on 18 points. So it's very tight in that league. It always is, isn't it? It's always very, very tight. Let's have a look at what's going on in the Champions League. In the Champions League at the moment, Arsenal have dropped down to 13th. Villa have dropped down to 8th. Barcelona up into 6th, Inter Milan 5th, Brest 4th, Monaco 3rd, Sporting 2nd, and Liverpool leading the way. 4 wins from 4, 10 goals, only 1 conceded. And there are 2 teams in the Champions League who have not conceded a goal so far. That is Atalanta and Inter Milan, the 2 Italian teams. Who would have thought that, eh? Big up Foxy, said he won his Shakhtar bet builder earlier. For them to win, Sudakov goal looks a play. He does look a good player, Sudakov. And Athakame booking at 25-2. What a very specific bet. So big up to you. Well done on winning that. How much did you put on it, mate? Let's see how much you won. Yeah, Derby, 2-0 up. Derby are 2-0 up. Yes, he did. Giggsy did shuffle inside, didn't he? Giggsy did shuffle inside. Gus Parker saying just need nothing to happen at Millwall. Long time. Yeah, listen, there's 10 minutes to go at Millwall, but Leeds are going to kick themselves. Leeds have had 75% of the game and 11 shots and are losing 1-0 to Millwall. Millwall, though, let's just see. That puts Millwall into 5th. Millwall are on fire. They've lost 1 of their last 8. This will be their 4th win in a row, beating Plymouth, Swanley, Burnley, and Leeds. But still 10 minutes to go in that game. Can they hold on? Can Inter Milan hold on as well? Did Kudos? I know he got an extra 2 games. I'm not sure how many altogether, but yes, naughty Kudos, good player as well. Angus needs Odegaard on Nwaneri on. Angus is now the manager of Arsenal. I know that Gabriel Jesus came on for Mikel Merino. I'm just looking at the stats. Yeah, Arsenal have had more possession, more shots, but the stat that counts is the 1-0. It's the 1-0. It's always the top left-hand corner that counts, right? We can talk about whatever we want. The result is all that matters. Yes, this could be Millwall's 4th straight 1-0 win. Yeah, I don't know how many times we'll see that happening. Let's have a look. Millwall, yeah, 1-0, 1-0. So, and this will be their, if they keep a clean sheet, this will be their 5th clean sheet in 6. Their 5th clean sheet in 6. So something's gone very right at Millwall at the moment. 30 minutes to go in the game at the San Siro. Still Inter Milan 1, Arsenal 0. Besiktas, by the way, won in the Europa League earlier. Besiktas 2, Malmo 1. How I've not got a job for Sky Sports is beyond me. I should be on the panel doing this. I should have this job. I've got it in my head now that I'm going to work for Sky Sports one day. Angus has said, Havertz nearly scored a screamer. Good save from Summer. I'll have to take your word. I've not got it on. Kudus or Saka. I'd like both of them in my team. I'd like Saka on the right and Kudus on the left. That would be very good. Savva, are we talking relegation at Woolwich? Who else do they need to play to get out of trouble? Are we talking relegation at Woolwich? What do you mean? Like, what, Arsenal to get relegated? I'd love to think that would happen, but I can't see it if that's what you mean. Coventry have pulled one back. Coventry 1, Derby County 2. The Coventry goal scorer, I'll let you know as soon as I get it. At the moment, though, Coventry are 17th and they are level on points with Plymouth, who are in the relegation zone. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clubs on 15 points. And then QPR and Portsmouth are tailed off on 10 and 9 points, respectively. Good goal from Coventry point of view. Pulled it back immediately. Let's have a look at that goal again. Good goal. Yeah, he's cut inside. Yeah, good goal from Coventry to pull that back. Foxy says, Shakhtar, 135 quid on his bet. Well done, mate. Treat yourself to something nice, or the missus or whoever. So one more bet tonight. Need Boca to win at home. Last game of a 5-team ACCA for 120 quid. All right, Foxy. Showing off with all his ACCAs being won. Sakamoto got the goal for Coventry, by the way. That Hotspurs guy said, Sav, I heard that everyone's favourite striker who'll come good, Richarlison, is injured again. I think the backroom staffs need to be addressed and sold too. Look, I don't rate Richarlison in any way, shape or form. He's always injured. I find him really aggy as a player. He's not for me, but yeah, injured again. Look, I think we need another striker in the summer. That's just me. Former Arsenal player coming on. For who? Which game are we talking about there? Which game are we talking about? Oh, we're talking about Mkhitaryan. So Inter Milan, look at the levels. Inter Milan have brought on Barella, Thuram, and Mkhitaryan. That's 3 very good substitutions for Inter Milan. They're a good team, aren't they? Jamie said, Sky Sports don't deserve you, Savva. You're too honest, real and consistent. Thank you. I try my best. I do try my best. Queen Ellie has said, Arsenal going for it. Italians can defend. Bloody hell. So many blocks there. Yeah, they love a block, don't they, the Italians? Apparently, Arteta's got a yellow card. Champions League, the format, go through next rounds. Champions League formats go through. So the first 8 go through automatically. The next 16 play each other, right? The next 16, they have a playoffs. So you play one team twice, home and away, and the winners go through to join the other 8. So you'll have a last 16, essentially. I think that's right. Somebody will let me know if I'm wrong. Blackburn 0, Stoke 2. Tom Cannon, who I believe is a striker on loan from Leicester City. It's all up there, people. It's all up there, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Cannon, who's on loan from Leicester City, has scored a penalty. Blackburn 0, Stoke 2. Bad result for Blackburn tonight at Ewood Park. No other goals have gone in since the Stoke goal. Stoke penalty versus Yates. Yeah, he scored. Reed Ketzig, Sav, you can start your own Sky Sports. I'm not sure. I mean, I've got 105 people watching. I'm not sure I'd ever get like 1 million people watching, but yeah, thank you for your vote of confidence. And please do smash the like button, people. It is much appreciated. And again, thank you very much to the 2 people for a user. And also, I can't remember, also Total Spurs or what was his name? Sorry. So sorry. What was your name? Richard, get there quicker. You can tell I'm thinking. I first named myself for the other super chat. Spurs on the rocks. It was the other one. So thank you. So we've been linked to Liam Delap from Ipswich. Would you take him, Savva, sell Richarlison? I don't mind Liam Delap, but again, I'll ask the question: if you're going and buying Liam Delap, Is that what we moved into our new stadium for? Is that what sees you go from there to there? I don't think so. Thank you. I'd rather listen to me than O'Hara. I find O'Hara and Jamie Cunday, when they're on TalkSport, are so disingenuous. It's all very childish, if I'm honest. So very, very childish. Well, Savva, you worked in recruitment. Sky Sports is in your remit. I'll just ring them up. Say, excuse me, could you watch my live score show and hire me? Yeah, Bella, I think this is the thing. Listen, I like Liam Delap. He looks like a decent player. But again, did we build £1 billion stadium and bring in all that revenue so that we can keep buying, players that might come good? For me, our fans will find a way to tell you it was brilliant. And if Ange wants him, they want him. For me, I think we've got to start buying some game changers for me. Some game changers and some senior pros. Angus has said, did you see the BS Cundy was saying about You'll Never Walk Alone last night? I didn't see it, but it doesn't surprise me. This guy just talks and talks and talks. A lot of waffle, Jason Cundy. I find it so silly. Like, they talk like the 18-year-olds on YouTube. Like, oh, he's in the mud. Have you seen this team? It's all, I want to, if I'm going to watch something like TalkSport, I expect to see really good, knowledgeable guests. I like listening to Simon Jordan. I like listening to Ali McCoist. I like listening to knowledgeable people, not Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara. O'Hara is proof that even though you played football at a high level does not mean you make a good pundit. Of course, there's loads of pundits that are terrible, in my opinion. But, hey, it is what it is. Bit more peach juice. I like Jim White. He hosts that show very well. I really like listening to Simon Jordan, though, because Simon Jordan doesn't come from a place of emotion when he talks about football, and I love that. I don't like all the nonsense. So many YouTubers, it's just nonsense. It's just all hyperbolic clickbait. I like someone like Simon Jordan who he'll talk you through it. He'll talk you through why the clubs run the way they're run. He breaks things down. Big up, Luddy. Yes, we do have a game changer in Werder. I'm not sure it's for the better, but Jamie Pique, hang on, Blackburn, if they pull one back, oh, he's headed wide. Should have scored that. Really good. Blackburn, every time I look up, Blackburn have got a chance. And somehow they're losing 2-0 and it's the 90th minute of the game. Jamie said the latest Champions Europe format is nothing but money-grabbing corruption. Players and managers have already expressed their disagreements. Yeah, I guess that's a debate for another day. I mean, let me know in the chat. Do people like the new format? Do they dislike it? Let me know what you think. What's your thought on the Man United squad at Skies? What do you mean, Rinketic? Sorry, mate. What do you mean? What the Man United squad at Skies? What do you mean? Please, sorry. Let me know what you mean, and I'll answer it. Kunde is my strangest follower on Twitter. You love him. You love him. Ali McCoist is good. Can't stand the club he played for, but I respect him, and he was very respectful to my grandfather. Listen, Ali McCoist for me just comes across as a really good guy. I think he comes across as a really, really good guy. Yes, he does. I haven't seen it, but I'll take your word for it. Gary Neville, Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, Wayne Rooney, and whoever else I forgot. Oh, okay. Listen, I think that I like listening to Roy Keane. Again, not emotion with Roy Keane. Roy Keane has got standards. It's what I like in a. Oh, hang on, is my camera dropped there? 1 second. Hang on, did my camera drop? Oh God, I don't like that. What's happened? Hang on, what has just happened there? My camera's gone mad, hasn't it? 1 second. Sorry. And my camera. Oh, hang on. I'm having a mare. Ladies and gentlemen, calm down, Savva. Come on, keep it calm. Is that better? No, that's not all right. I don't like that either. Oh, I don't know. Do I like that? Yeah, we'll go with that. Oh, hang on. I want the. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I'm having a mare, people. That'll do. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Everything just seemed to go a little bit Pete Tong. My camera fell. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it fell. What was we talking about? Yeah, look, I like I like listening to those guys talk about football. Paul Scholes, very quiet, unassuming. Roy Keane, for me, again, as I said, no emotion. He's got big standards. When fans are going, we're brilliant, this is amazing. He's like, okay, why? Let's, and again, he's another one who talks about consistency. Should go back to knockout games. Well, there will be knockout games after this group. There will be knockout games. Jay Yid said, nice setup. Thank you. I think you're talking about this, but 1 second. Sorry, the dog's going mad at something, so I just shouted at him because he normally shuts up when I shout his name. Renter goes, yeah, I don't know what happened. The camera just suddenly went, whoop. I don't know why, but hopefully I think we're back to where we were. Somebody in the chat will tell me if not. Hopefully everybody likes the football heritage sign we've got going on in the background. It's Ashley Phillips. Is Ashley Phillips playing for Stoke? That's a great question. Is Ashley Phillips playing for Stoke? He is playing for Stoke, and he looks like he's going to play the full 90. They're in the 93rd minute. So, yeah, Ashley Phillips, he's played 93. This is only his 4th game for Stoke. This is only his 4th game. So, again, another loan where it's like, is he going to get game time? Not for me. I don't mind him. Not for me. I think, again, he's another very biased pundit. He's okay. I don't mind him, but he's not one of my favourites. Alpe said, I like the new formats in the European football comps. Each club, whatever level, gets the chance to play each other, and fans get to see the games at home. Yeah, I do find it interesting. I find it interesting that, you don't play the same team twice. So that makes it interesting. But, it's gonna. We'll see. By the time we get to the end, you could play 10 games to get out of this stage. You might have to play up to 10 games to get out of this stage. So we'll see. Queen Elliot said, Jesus, the little rat player, does he have a score for Arsenal? Both him and Richie Brazilian, but don't play like one. Ellie, Brazilians aren't what they were. We know that, right? We know the Brazilians are not what they were. Still Coventry 1, Derby 2 in the 89th minute. That game looks like, hang on, Coventry played the ball down the line. They're asking for a penalty. The ref's waving away. They're all saying it is. Foxy, I'm embarrassed. Simon Jordan is a Spurs fan. What a plank. Oh, I like Simon Jordan. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a really good guy, Simon Jordan. I think he brings a lot to the table, a lot. It's Simon Jordan and Levy, very good friends. Apparently they're friends. I mean, I don't know how much as good of friends they are. Ring Ketika said, Emma Goat is better than Caff, whoever was. Listen, Emerson Royale is the greatest right back that ever lived. Barry told me to say that, by the way. Barry told me to say it. Simon Jordan is a Palace fan. Yeah, I thought Simon Jordan was a Palace fan. I didn't think he was Spurs, but he sliced that high over the bar. Leeds versus Millwall. That was James. It's the 95th minute at Millwall. There was only meant to be 4 minutes injury time. It looks like Leeds are going to lose that. Millwall look like they're going to have their 4th win on the bounce. Their 4th 1-0 win on the bounce as well. Let's have a look. Inter 1, Arsenal 0. There we go. Sorry, Quinny. There we go. Yeah, second best after Stephen Carr, my lord. I loved Stephen Carr. Thought Stephen Carr was an excellent player. I might go over. I think I'm going to go over and watch Inter Milan Arsenal for the last 15 minutes. So Millwall have beaten Leeds. 1-0. Great win. And it's a Spurs boy with the goal. Japhet Tanganga putting Millwall up to 5th and a 4th 1-0 win in a row. So it looks like Millwall have really learned how to defend since Neil Harris went there. Sparta Prague 0, Brest 2. Brest are the dark horse, not to win it, but what a brilliant start to the campaign. If I'm not wrong, that will be Brest's 10 points, 3 wins and 1 draw for Brest. Barcelona are 5-1 up as well. The goal scorer is Fermin Lopez, another very good player. If anyone gets the chance to watch him, he's going to be a top footballer, is Fermin Lopez. Really good player. So results starting to come in thick and fast now. In the Championship, Blackburn in the 98th minute, they're not going to get anything from this game unless they get 2 in quick succession. Coventry in the 93rd minute. Let's go over to Arsenal, shall we? Let's go over to Inter Milan versus Arsenal. Let's see what's going on in this game. As I've gone over, who's that? Is that Jesus, number 9? Let's see. Let's see what Arsenal are made of. Yeah, Millwall is done, Gus. Millwall 1, Leeds United 0 is a full-time result. Big up to my man, Gary. Good chat this afternoon, my man. Said, Savva, do you think our left side or right side is weaker defensively? I think I think both sides. I'm going to cop out here. I think left side. I think Adogi and Porro defensively are wanting. I saw someone last night on a podcast say Porro's one of the best right backs in the league, just not at defending for me. I think he's a very good footballer, but Nordic Spurs, don't you dare jinxing this now, mate, by watching that lot. Listen, I've gone over because the Championship games are starting to end as well, and I thought we'd go over and see. And there's still 13 minutes plus injury time here. Jamie Pike has said Simon Jordan just kisses that potato head money chaser's ass. Jesus Christ. Ediza said 4-1 Barcelona, by the way. It's not 4-1. It's 5-1 it is. It's 5-1. Lewandowski and Rafinha are definitely on fire, and Lamine Yamal as well. Top player. There we go. Angus, your 2-1 is still on. You need a couple of quick fire goals. Your 2-1 is still on. Free kick given against Arsenal there, and it looks like Inter Milan are going to make a substitution. Yes, they are. Inter Milan are about to make substitution. I like it when they take off a number 99. Do you know what a number? They're bringing off Taremi. Let's see who they're replacing him with. They're bringing on DeMarco, who I think is a very good player. Feyenoord have had a very strange couple of minutes. They've had a man sent off, but pulled a goal back. So Feyenoord have got 10 minutes to pull the game back against Salzburg. By the way, Blackburn has finished. Blackburn 0, Stoke 2. Coventry are in the 95th minute of 6. So they've got 1 minute to find a goal to equalise at home. Feyenoord have got 10 minutes. Bayern Munich, by the way, I mean, we haven't talked about them. Bayern Munich are currently 24th in the league. Now, at the moment, it's crazy because that's only, they're 5 points off the first 8. They need to win. Otherwise, they're giving themselves a lot to do in the last 4 games. It's not insurmountable, and they could win their last 4. But Bayern Munich have got, as it stands, do you know what? As I speak, look at this. Can you see that? Can you see that flashing on Bayern Munich? Big chance. As I speak, Bayern Munich apparently have taken the lead. Let's see if that sticks. You couldn't write it, could you? We've not mentioned Bayern Munich all night, and then the moment I talk about them, they score. Bayern Munich won't. Yeah. Bayern 1-0. The goal scorer for Bayern Munich was Musiala. And again, let's see how that's changed it. So Bayern Munich, that goal takes them up to 17th from 24th. So that takes them just 3 points off of Aston Villa, who are currently the team in 8th. So Aston Villa currently the team in 8th. It's interesting because no one's seen this before. We never know how many points it's going to need, right? I mean, I'm guessing 15, 16 is going to see you comfortably through. I don't know. I don't know. Somebody let me know. How many points do you think it will take? Inter Milan with a great clearance there. And it's since I've come over, it's all Arsenal with the ball. Inter Milan have got like 2 solid lines of 4. So let's see what happens in the last 10 minutes. Ball whipped in by Saka, the world-class Saka, but cleared by Inter Milan. Feyenoord's goal went to VAR, but they've still but they gave the goal. It's the 98th minute in Coventry, by the way. Still Luton 1, Cardiff 0. Massive goal for Luton. Massive goal, that goal for Luton. They have not done well. They're under pressure. And here comes 2 Arsenal substitutions. Zinchenko is coming on for Timber, and Nwaneri looks like he's going to come on as well. The Bayern Munich goal has gone to VAR. I hate VAR. It just ruins everything. So Trossard's come off for Nwaneri. So Angus has got Nwaneri on that he wanted. So Nwaneri is on. Yeah, they're trying. Yeah. They're worried I'm going to catch them up. Here's Arsenal. It's all Arsenal. It is all Arsenal. I can't lie. Coventry 1, Derby 2 is a full-time result. Coventry 1, Derby 2 is a full-time result at Coventry. Luton have got 2 minutes to hold on for their win. Politician, what does that mean? Oh, Zinchenko. It looks like the Musiala goal has stood. Kratch, how do I say your name? How do I say it? That'd be great if you could tell me. 16-18 from my Aka 75. It's kind of. I tell you what. I'll be honest. I have no idea what any of that means. What you just said. Oh, I see. Sorry. To my question about how many points. 16-18. Gotcha. Thank you. Yes. By the way, Red Star Belgrade have pulled one back. It's Red Star 2, Barcelona 5. I'm not sure Barcelona will care. 5-2 away at the moment against Red Star Belgrade, if that goal does stand. VAR out and Levy out from Gus Parker. Always Levy out. Hang on, let me close some of these tabs. I've got so many tabs open with players' Wikipedia pages and league tables for Champions League, Premier League, this league, Europa League. Well, I mean, it was either going to be Nwaneri or Zinchenko, and I don't know why Nwaneri would be called the politician. Inter Milan struggling to get out of their own half here, but a free kick given against Nwaneri. Arsenal got 6.5 minutes. By the way, Feyenoord 1, Salzburg 3. Salzburg hadn't scored a goal or got a point anywhere in this year's Champions League. And now tonight they've got 3 goals and 3 points away at Feyenoord. So lots of goals now starting to fly in. Sunderland v Preston. At Preston, by the way, is still 0-0. Sunderland are going to kick themselves with Leeds losing. But Preston have had all the game. Preston have had 60% of the game and 14 goal attempts. So according to this, it's been mainly them. Big up to El Tel Cocorel. If you haven't subscribed to El Tel, please get over to Jose's channel and subscribe to him. I love streaming with Jose. He's a good egg, always very calm, keeps it nice and simple. Jackal thinks that Vincent Kompany will become a great manager. Yeah, I mean, look, it's very early on in his managerial career to tell, isn't it? Rinketic saying, I miss these old calm streams. Yeah, well, when Spurs aren't playing, there's nothing to get worried about, right? It's funny because everyone in the chat is nicer. There's no trolls. No one's calling me a nonce. Do you know what I mean? It's actually really nice. We just get to watch a bit of football, relax, and Spurs aren't playing. Don't worry, though. I'm back tomorrow night for a watch-along starting at 4 p.m. And I'm sure that the trolls will be... Every time Spurs score a goal or win a game, I get people coming in my chat. They talk to me like I'm an Arsenal fan. Oh, you're in the mud. Spurs have scored. I bet you hated it. It's like so weird. Some really, really weird children on the internet and adults, dare I say it. Levy is a genius. The original Pied Piper. Daniel Levy. I think he's a genius, but not for the right reasons. I think he's done a wonderful job at pulling the wool over eyes. Atalanta have gone 2-0 up in Stuttgart. Atalanta are a team on fire as well at the moment. Let's be brutally honest. Atalanta 2-0. Zaniolo has scored. Nicolo Zaniolo, remember him? He scored. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's their... They haven't lost in 8 games, and this will be their 4th. This will be their seventh win in the last 8. So Atalanta going great guns at the moment. They're high up in the, let's have a look where they are. They're third, 3 points off the top in the Italian Serie A as well. So Atalanta doing some good bits tonight. Luton Cardiff is now in the 93rd minute of the game. Foxy completely agree. That's a great away win for them. This Champions League format does give you some good results, doesn't it? And Karim Kanate missed a penalty for his hat-trick. So, that's a shame for him. He missed a penalty for his hat-trick, but it was Eduardo Guindo, the Mali defender, that scored to make it 3-1 in that game. Sparta Prague have pulled one back against Brest. Sparta Prague 1, Brest 2 in the 3rd minute of 3 minutes of injury time. So I don't know if there's going to be enough time for them to grab another goal. And Brest have got to be the surprise package in this season's Champions League. Where are we? Watch along. Yeah, absolutely. It's just funny. I find it hilarious how people don't just come in and go, "Hi, Sav, let's talk football," or, "Oh, I'll tell you what, we're doing better than we thought," or, "Oh, that's not good." It's just mud and "Oh, you're an idiot." And it's like, I've never known the internet has just allowed people to abuse people. It's madness. You would never walk up to someone you don't know and go, "Oh, you mug, you're a nonce." You wouldn't, would you? But the internet has just allowed people to do it. It's how many do it that's the worry. It's how many do it. By the way, I had a guy earlier who said to me, basically said that the reason I wanted Ange out, by the way, I've not said Ange out for like 2 months or whatever, but, I said it once and now people just hold it against you forever. Basically was saying that I want Ange out because of his nationality, until I reminded this person that both myself and Ange are Greek. That's the sort of idiocy that we're dealing with in this fan base. I want Ange out because of his nationality, yet Ange is Greek. I'm Greek. Do you know who else is Greek? Ellie. She's Greek as well, isn't you, Ellie? You're part of the Greek. Do you hate Ange because he's Greek? It's just ridiculous. Big up to you. Spurs on the Rocks said, I wanted him out since he sacked Martin Jol. Spurs on the Rocks, that was the day I became Levy out as well. Me, you, I think Brian Daigle's in that group as well. Yeah, many people wanted him out from the moment that happened. Yeah, and I've never, ever liked him since. Anthony Clark says, this is for Angus. All them deluded Arsenal fans. Where is this world-class Saka? A crap performance from him again. Listen, there's still a few minutes to go, but Inter Milan can defend, can't they? And when I say things like Spurs need to shore up at the back, these are teams that win things. Look how Inter Milan defend. That is how you defend, and that is a brilliant defence. Hopefully Arsenal don't grab a late goal. Foxy said, I went to Newcastle game v Brest pre-season. They look decent. No standout players, but they played as a team. Yeah, I like teams that are like that. I'll let you know as some of the other games finish. All the Champions League games, apart from Arsenal and apart from Bayern Munich, all of the Champions League games are now into the dying minutes, if not very close to the whistle going. Hated that day. Yeah, that was the day. That was the day I was Ange out. That was the day I was Levy out. Tell you what, brilliant defending again from Arsenal, but two players have gone down holding their heads. Who is that? I think that's Havertz and Bissek. Oh, that's a nasty one on Havertz. That is not intentional. Both players jumped for the ball, and as he went up, his head went into the back of Havertz. So I hope Havertz is okay there. That looks a nasty one. But Inter Milan are brilliant. Oh, God. This is what I mean, guys. As we were just talking about, the Ange out hate. Do you know what? The Ange out is mentioned more by you than anyone else. The Ange out hate ramped up after he tried to beat Man City in last season and he exposed the character of the fan base. Okay, I'm going to ask a question. Who in the chat wanted to lose to Man City last season? I never said it. I never wanted to. So we know Cam is lying. We know Cam is the fakest person on YouTube. He's not even a Spurs fan. But so when you're going to say he exposed the fan base. Cam, you're not even a Spurs fan, right? You're not a Spurs fan. Who in the chat was someone saying, and be honest, I want to lose. I want to lose to Man City. I never said it. This is exactly what I said. I said it doesn't matter. Man City are going to beat us. And they did, right? So I just think when people like this have ruined our fan base, honestly, they don't support Spurs. They follow a manager and then they start trying to tell us about our club. This guy knows nothing about my club from the 90s, the noughties, any of the cup wins, all the goals. He don't know anything. This is somebody that has ruined YouTube. I'm just going to call it as it is. I don't care. Cam has ruined it. One day he'll man up a bit and come on and talk to me. And let's see. Let's have a chat about Spurs and see what you actually know about my football club. My football club, not yours. You are not a Tottenham fan. Yeah. Late Atletico away win in Paris. Yes. Atletico Madrid have snatched all 3 points with essentially the last kick of the game. Oh, it's just gone off my screen. Sorry, the last kick of the game. Cam, Tony may have said this, but you love this manager with every fibre of your being. That's equally weird. That's equally weird, mate. You're a very weird person. Sorry, I'm just going to call it out. I'm Ange out, but Spurs win. Listen, for me, what I find funny is why everything has to be Ange in or Ange out. Like, I want Ange to prove a lot to me, right? I said Ange out once on a stream. Jesus Christ, it has stuck with me. I want Ange to prove me wrong. I want Ange to show me that we're not this, right? I want Ange to show me things, right? That's the same way I am Conte, Nuno, Jose, Poch, Yol, Hoddle, Jerry Francis. I can go back to the days of David Pleat, Terry Venables, Doug Livermore. Do you know what I mean? I can go back as George Graham, all managers that Cam Timley's never heard of because he doesn't support Tottenham. I'm the same with every single manager. Yeah. If I doubt them, so what? Prove it. Right? If I doubt them, prove it. But now what it's done is there's so many people. I saw one YouTuber today said, Ange proving people wrong. And you're just like, oh God, get over it. Ange proving people wrong. Well, when we lose terrible away games, he's not proving anyone wrong. Yeah. So again, until we find that balance, he's not proving anyone wrong. Absolutely. I don't like Ange, but I'll support Spurs to the day I die. It's not that I don't like Ange. I just find him not, I don't know, I can't relate to him. I don't find him relatable. Hey, a dicker to David Brent. How we laugh. But it's just funny. Have you noticed the moment we started talking about Ange, this guy turned up? It's weird. These people are, it's so weird. But you know why, Ellie? Because he's not a fan. Listen, do you know what, Ellie? If me and you have got a difference of opinion on football, me and you will row, will debate we have. I'll never, ever turn around and say, yeah, but you're not a real Spurs fan. Do you know what I mean? You played for Spurs women. You go to Spurs. You are Spurs. But what I won't have that guy there coming in going, Ange exposed Spurs fans. Sorry, mate. Who are you? You don't even support my football club. I know. You know what I mean? I know Mark Sheriff. I know Mark's a massive Spurs fan. Tom. I've known Tom since the days of Twitter. We're going back over a decade, aren't we, Tom? Spurs fan. Rich, Spurs fan. Do you know what I mean? Spurs fan, Spurs fan, Spurs fan, Spurs fan, Spurs fan, Spurs fan. Not these, oh, we followed Ange here. Not a Spurs fan. You don't just suddenly start supporting Spurs at the age of 50 or something. No. 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 But these people won't have any critiquing. This is what I love. Like, I'll call them out. I'll talk to any Spurs YouTuber. I'll debate any Spurs YouTuber. You guys know I will. Ben, definitely not a Spurs. No, get Spurs. Do you know what I mean? Spurs. On the Spurs train. But sorry, I won't have it. I can't have people messaging me saying, oh, you can't really support Spurs if you don't like Ange. And I'm like, you guys say I don't like Ange more than I do. You guys want to tell me every single day it's Ange in, the Ange outers. I can't when did anyone last hear me say Ange out? There you go. Let's ask everyone in the chat. When did you last hear me say Ange out? I'm going to go and try and find when that video was. Okay, videos. When did I say Ange out? Here we go. Ange out. I said, and it was one video. Ange out was back in September, like 17th of September, right? So I said it a few seconds ago. I said it on the 17th of September, and now it's all people say. It's absolutely mad. It's mad. Absolutely long-suffering. Listen, none of us long-suffering as this old git. Look at him. Here he is, Kuva, on his train. The train Kuva's on is a steam engine. It's that old, isn't it, Kuva? One of those ones where they're shoveling coal in the whole time. Every day I see it. Oh, cool. You're from Greece. Listen, my dad was Greek. My dad's fully Greek. I'm half Greek. And to be told that I don't like Ange because he's Greek or Australian, whatever, it just cracks me up. I just find it so funny. Steam engines. Choo choo. All aboard Kuva's steam engine. Kuva, let me know if you're free in the morning. Ben, let me know as well if you fancy a bonus live show or show at 10 or 11 in the morning. I'm just chucking it out there. I'm just making it up right now. We can if you want. Yes, I know. I just didn't want to be rude. I don't know you as well as I know Kuva. By the way, we are in, the 8th minute of injury time of 5. This is the 8th of 5. So I'm guessing this is due to the injury to Bissek and Havertz. Arsenal still pumping the ball forward. They're on the attack here, trying to dribble through. And again, another block. The blocking from Inter Milan has been absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Inter Milan have won 1-0. It is Inter Milan 1, Arsenal 0. Arsenal again. So Arsenal, that's their 3rd defeat in 6 games in all competitions. Again, the heat, I think, is going to go on Arteta from a large section of the fan base. Do you know what I would really love, though, guys? I would really love someone like Cam Tinley to come on. I welcome it. I welcome him to come on and tell me about my football club, our football club. I welcome him to come on and tell me about why I have to do this with Ange and I have to think this about Ange. My football club, your football club, our football club, right? We were here before these people. We will be here after those people, right? We will. Angus is here. Angus is here. Arteta out tonight. Here we go. You said you were going to win today. Oh, how we laugh. Have you seen the Mr. Seed guy since the debate? I don't know. Who's Mr. Seed? Who's that? I don't know who you mean. I'm wearing the gear right now. Seriously, I'd love to drive a steam train. I'd like to see you driving a steam train. I really, really would. Who else we got in the chat? What's going on? So Arsenal lose 1-0. It's funny. Look, Arteta out. Kroenke out. Here we go. September. Do you know the funny thing is, Ellie? I said it. I was annoyed. I was angry. Listen, I'm all for it. If Ange Postecoglou can sort out our away form and we get some consistency, I turn around and go, I'm happy. It's my club. We're doing well. These people that say to me, you want us to lose to prove your point. I'm not that proud. I'm not that proud, Ellie. I've been wrong about many things in my life. I'll happily be wrong again. It's fine. But these kids just, mud. We're in the mud. Wah seems to be a thing that everyone's saying in my channel now. Wah. It's like, what are we doing? We're grown-ups. We're grown-ups talking about football. Let's be grown up and talk about it. We can critique, we can praise, but every video, like what it is as well, is a lot of YouTubers that don't have a lot of subscribers that are trying to mock people like me and Stel to grow their channel. Cool, do it. Do what you've got to do to mock us. That's fine. We grew for a reason because people want to hear football talk. Yeah. Big up, Ben. Big up, Ben. Anthony Clark said, I wondered why I wanted the fraud. Listen, I mean, you said it for ages. Angus loved him. Up until about a month ago, Angus was telling me this is the year you're going to win the league and you had a great transfer window. Angus has now said not. Oh, Angus. Listen, this is what it's like being a Spurs fan all the time. Don't worry about it, mate. That's all I want. That's all I've ever asked for. Consistency. Proper consistency. That's all I've ever asked for. And context. And everybody knows I love my context and my consistency. And if anyone doesn't know, there you go. There I am, shooting it out of the gun. So not a good week, by the way, other than Liverpool. In the Champions League, Spurs, no, we're not in it. Man City lost, Villa lost, Arsenal lost. The way it sits at the moment, Liverpool first, Sporting second, Monaco third, Brest fourth, Inter fifth, Barca sixth, Dortmund seventh, Villa eighth, Atalanta 9th, City 10th, Juve 11th, Arsenal 12th, Leverkusen 13th, Lille 14th, Celtic 15th. That's the top 15. I am not doing all 36. That's your top 15. South London in the mud. Absolutely. South London in the mud. As always, Kuva has said, you've already done the action and said, choo-choo, Savva. I just find it funny how not enough YouTubers can laugh with each other, constantly trying to fight each other. Surely we get past that, don't we? Surely we get past that. Like, one of the guys I saw yesterday was talking about me. I'm not going to name him. I saw him talking about me. And I just thought to myself, look, man up and come on and debate me or shut up. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't need to come on my show and go, oh my God, this person said this. I don't need to do it. I'm secure enough in my opinions. These people are so insecure that every win, they feel that they need to come on and go, see. It's just madness. Absolutely madness. I see people reading off scripts and like preparing notes. I don't do any of that. Boom, 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 boom. Ben has said, I never want Tottenham to lose. But if we have nothing to play for, we can stop them winning a trophy. I literally don't care if we lose. And his team cared less when we play away from home. Good point. But you can't say this. Some of these people don't. Big up, Aris from Australia. Are you an Australian that likes me or doesn't? I kind of got the, it's a fine line. I'm not allowed to go to Australia. They don't like me. Where are we? Jackal said, this is bad for Levy's coefficients if we come fifth again. What do you mean by that? Sorry. What do you mean by that? Aris said, Savva, I've been listening to Stel and yourself. I agree with a lot of your views. I actually know Ange since 1894. I know him well. Since 1894 or 1984. Either way, that's a long time. But big up to you, my man. I hope you're well. Philly, I love this. Philly coming in. Angus, don't take this the wrong way, but I knew Arteta wasn't good enough when he got a tactical lesson by Conte years ago when Spurs finished third loser. Has Arteta ever won a high-pressure game? That's a good call. Has he? Has Arteta ever won a high-pressure game? I don't know. People in the chat, I don't know the answer. You can let me know. Guys, girls, I am going to leave it there. We've just done a nice 3-hour stream. Much love to everyone for the likes. Please like if you haven't. Please subscribe if you haven't as well. Let's set a little target. We've gone backwards in subscribers today. We're 6 subscribers away from 14.1k. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. If you have, thank you very much. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't think I'm doing anything in the day unless anything comes up. I'll be live tomorrow at 4 p.m. Again, Kuva, Ben, if you're free at that time, feel free to jump on. Whatever, we can get Brian on as well, whoever. All the build up to the game. Ellie, if you want to come on before the game, just message me tomorrow and let me know. And other than that, everybody, take care. And as always, come on, you Spurs, Levy out.